Welcome everyone to Unlikely Heroes, the Ghost of Grey Mog, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e adventure on the wonderful Chaotic Wholesome channel. I am Adam, he, him, your dungeon master for this evening. And behind the scenes, working tirelessly to make it happen is David. Thank you so much, David. And joining all of us today are four absolutely incredible, wonderful performers. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello everyone, I am Piper. I use they, them pronouns, and today I am playing Moose. And I'm going to pass it on over to Candace.
Hi everybody, my name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. My pronouns are they, she, and I am playing Caeora Toonbrook. I'm passing it over to Matt.
Hey y'all, my name is Matt, pronouns he, him. I'm playing Bob Gimble, pronouns he, they, my little skeleton boy, and I'm gonna pass it over to Kay.
Hey you all, I am Kay Purcell. I use she and they pronouns, and today I am playing Oda, who uses they and any pronouns. Before we hop in, we want to just do a quick shout out that while this is not a charity game, we do have a Ko-fi link if you would like to tip and unlock goodies for our adventurers. It is a Ko-fi link. It will be up in chat. We know times are hard. You do not have to tip, but if you do, it is very much appreciated. We have already unlocked our first milestone, so there will be a bundle of goodies coming up, as well as a bundle of 100% totally useful magical items that Mimics and Misfits donated last stream. But for $5, you can add a +1 to any D20 roll. For $10, you can grant the party a reroll. For $20, there's a lucky box, which will give us 3 rerolls. There is the 100% totally useful magic item box. For $25, give the party a +1 to every D20 roll in the next session. For $25, which we also have going this time, thank you, the Lurking Writer, it will be a Wild Magic Surge on all Nat 1s and Nat 20 rolls. And for $35, you can name an NPC. And if we get our total up to 100, which I think we're at 75 right now, which is amazing, then we will unlock another 100% totally useful box of magic items, which, totally useful. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We are so excited you're here. Thank you, Adam, for running, and back to you.
Yes, thank you so much. And also, no spoilers, but if you want to send in a name, it would be good to do that pretty soon. With all of that said, let's get into playing some Dungeons and Dragons. So last time, for those of us that can't quite remember, or those of us that are new, a little recap. Last time on Unlikely Heroes, we began with a quest to escort a cart of supplies for the blue wizard Brandlegast. Then we went back in time a little bit to see how our heroes accepted this quest. And we met Oda, this mysterious little creepy kobold who was following the instructions of some mysterious voices. Then we jumped over to Bob Gimble, our skeleton with a heart of gold, on their quest for self-discovery. Then we jumped over to Caeora Toonbrook, a statuesque bard who wanted to live their own adventure, write their own story. Then we jumped over to Moose, a rat who has a painting for a wife. And then we jumped forward back into time, or back into the present, and there was an ambush of hungry goblins that wished to beset our heroes on their travels. In the middle of this battle, a strange goblin wizard appeared to seemingly be collecting ingredients for a ritual, quote unquote. And as they ended the battle, our heroes remembered that wizard, the goblin wizard, was wearing Brandlegast's hat and had some strange necklaces that looked like little cages that might have had people inside of them, shrunken down. Again, Brandlegast is the wizard that sent them all on this quest. So what happened to the wizard? Also, at the end of the fight, there was a huge dragon that flew overhead that I believe only Caeora witnessed. And that is where we left off last time. So to open the scene, before we go right back there, we're going to go back again. A little bit of a flashback, if you will, about 7 days prior. 7 days and a few hours. After all of our heroes have accepted their quest, the scene opens as we see one of the northernmost cities of Dalinor. That is the kingdom below where our heroes are. And we see this sprawling medieval city, and just on the edge of it, as the camera is slowly backing away from the busyness of the city, just on the outskirts, you see the farms and the little sties for the animals. We see a simple little inn called the Last Stop Inn and Tavern. And there's a cart tied up outside, the cart of Danbury, the old man that was owns this cart that they were supposed to be escorting. And then we cut to inside of the tavern. It seems pretty empty. There's maybe 2 or 3 folks inside. And we see Danbury, this old man with a straw hat, a little corncob pipe, and suspenders, a little short white beard, just coming back from the innkeeper, talking to the innkeepers, walking over to a table where we see a little kobold sitting. And Danbury begins, "Yeah, well, I talked to the innkeeper and said that we're expecting about 3 more. So if y'all want to, if you see any of them, or if they point in here, just kind of, tell them kind of what's going on. I got to go to the little princess's room. So if you just need to, you just talk to them real quick and make sure they know everything that's going on, and I'll be right back, okay?" And then you see Danbury kind of hurry off. It looks like he had to go to the bathroom pretty bad, and kind of runs out the door. And the camera turns toward our kobold friend. And Kate, could you please describe your character and what they're doing in this moment?
Yes, you see a little 3-foot-nothing kobold perched at this bench at this table. Their little hand-like feet not even touching the ground. They're in like a black cowl and cloak, almost robe-like, except you can kind of see there's like something bulky underneath. There's like an armor underneath. They have their little nose completely buried in a book. A Cave for Two by Cindy Mingles. And they have this fat little spotty tail that's kind of wrapped around to their left side, and big round glasses, spots all over, these marbled looking eyes. And it doesn't even seem like they even registered that Danbury was talking to them.
I think for a second, we see a very brief snippet of this book. And I'll say that, this is before the see me part. This is when they are falling in love. And I'll say that, Kay, you will be one of the characters, and I will be the other character. And I'll just be like, "No, Miranda, you don't understand. I'm too broken. Too broken to have your love. Why do you want someone like me?"
But don't you understand? I traveled the world on a quest to bring you treasure.
You are so beautiful with your perfectly normal hair and stature, and just an ordinary girl, just like all the others. But you brought me treasure. You're different. You have the power, don't you know?
You cannot be broken if you're not broke.
You're so right. Kiss me, you fool.
Lean all the way down here.
Oh yeah, you're very small. Let me pick you up in my big arms. And then we cut back out to Oda reading the book. And what is their reaction to this?
Just eyes are very wide. They just have a permanent smile. There's no teeth. There's just a permanent smile. It's just they're reading so fast.
Incredible. And then we see the door of the tavern swing open, and I'll say that there are other 3 characters. You can decide when you come in and how you come in. So who steps through the door first?
Oh, don't everyone want to meet me at once?
Goodness, let's see.
Can I? Okay, if y'all don't mind,
Yes.
I would
Heck
love if. All right, so Bob, he had been pacing outside for a moment, and he's thinking like, wait, if I'm going into a tavern, I don't have any money. They're gonna wonder what I'm doing there. If I'm like, if I'm just like panhandling or something. But after a moment, he remembers he's got a quest to do. He's just got to act like he's supposed to be there, and he'll open the door, and start to step forward, and if he notices Oda, he'd be like, "Hi, I'm just a normal tavern goer,
Just see, like, if you are here for the thing, you should sit.
All right." And Bob is. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, you see the tavern owner kind of looks up when you come in and say that. It's just like, weird guy, and kind of goes back to cleaning the bar.
Hello. Yes. I'm here for a thing. I'm meeting some people. So I'm going to sit as a normal tavern goer will.
Gestures towards the table.
Thank you. This is a mighty fine establishment.
Thanks, says from across the bar.
You're welcome.
Eat anything? Drink? Or
Oh, how much is water here?
water? Well, I mean, there's a well outside and a trough if you want some water.
Or you could just lick your eyeball.
Or you can what?
I don't have eyeballs.
That would
But
make that challenging.
yes.
What?
I might collect some water later. It's been I've been pretty full today. I've had a full breakfast, going to another establishment with money.
You talk
and
a lot.
Yes. It's nice to meet you. My name is Bob Gimble.
Again, like, peeks over the top of the book. You may call me Oda.
It's nice to meet you, Oda. And Bob is gonna have a hand outstretched. You would see it's gloved, but very, very clearly ill-fitting.
Oda carefully shifts the book to one hand and puts out this little tiny, and the hand is so small and just the tiniest little softest claws. Like, they're little claws, but like they couldn't hurt you if they tried. They're just for gripping.
Wonderful. Yeah, you
Oda, give me an investigation check real quick.
Ooh.
Give me pretty easy. 10 or above.
Let's see. What is my investigation? Not as good as it should be. Oh yeah, that's a 16.
Yeah, as you shake Bob's hand, you realize either this person is the skinniest person you've ever met, the most malnourished person in the world, or something's up. You just feel bones.
Those kind of marbled eyes just narrow a little bit, and the hand kind of goes against their chest. They wait to see if anything.
Yeah, nothing.
Shrugs, goes back to the book.
Well, I'm glad to have made your acquaintance and perhaps friendship, Oda. Are you going to enjoy some water?
I have my book.
Would you like some water? I'm gonna go out to the trough as I was invited by the kind establishment owner.
Perhaps you should sit.
All right, I'll sit.
And I would say another one of our characters walks in. Who is it?
I want to know if Bob said that part about panhandling out loud, or if that was an inside thought.
Oh, I'd say yeah. It's it's just all outward. When he's nervous, he just starts mumbling it out.
Talking out loud.
Yes, exactly. So he would have said that.
I think when you get there, you walk past a really big marble, like gray marble with white kind of veining statue that you do not realize is a person. And Caeora's just outside kind of trying to decide like how they're going to make their entrance. So like going through all their poems and their stories in their mind, trying to like think up something really good to like make a good entrance. Because they're like, I can kill two birds with one stone here. I can perform and make some money and maybe get some free drinks, and I can meet this person I'm supposed to be coming here for. So hearing that you don't want to be seen as a panhandler, I think Caeora arrives second, and like it opens the door with like a flourish and walks inside in like a twirl of like fabrics and like sashes and floofy things. And starts to play like a really nice beat, like a really like kind of jaunty beat on their hand drum. And they do like a little dance, and they tell like a quick story about a far off prince with a devastating smile and a bad attitude who breaks the hearts of all the maidens and gets his just desserts. And then kind of like does like a fancy bow that's like surprisingly deep for a person, but maybe not so deep when you consider that they probably have very hinged joints. And kind of stands up and like looks around, and then kind of takes that little hat that they're wearing, this kind of poofy sort of hat with a big feather. They take it off and kind of put it with the cap side up on the table next to Oda and sit down and look at you, Bob. They take a couple of coins out of the inner purse of their little vest and flick them to you. I am a professional panhandler. I heard you outside. There's nothing wrong with what we do. As long as you're being useful, people will pay you for your time.
I'm sorry. I just don't. And then Bob is gonna like reach into his pockets, take out a little piece of paper, and he's gonna write down and then put it into your hat. I owe you 2 silver, tip, see Brandlegast on the back.
They like pick it up and read it, and she looks at you like this statue has marble eyes and mouth and lips and face and all of that stuff, right? So the detailing of their emotions isn't super clear, like as it would be on like a face with skin, but the look can only be described as withering. As she says, you know, I understand that you'll want to owe me 2 silver. What I'm trying to say to you is not that you owe me anything. It is that you should recognize that you have panache. You are a skeleton walking around like it's perfectly fine. You should do your own thing. Can you detach one of your hands? Can they walk around like a little spider? You should think up something cool you can do with yourself, and then you'll never be poor.
You know what? That's a good idea. I'll try it. And I will try to detach a hand. And I imagine I put it on the table for a moment, and I'm like, all right, go ahead. And then it just kind of sits there for a moment.
You know
Everyone,
what? Give me...
Look at this high magic! Removing a hand? Who would have thought? So impressive. You have magicians among you.
Bob, give me an Arcana or a Constitution save. I would say that you can choose either or.
More like an armcana, am I right?
Can I help? Can I help with my performance?
Yeah, 100%. I would say you give Bob advantage on this. So even if it doesn't do well, people are like, that's impressive.
Great. Okay, with advantage, I have a -1 to my Arcana, so let's see how this goes. Up. Hit 20.
Oda's gonna watch and just like it's just barely peering over the top of the book. And if this doesn't go well, they're gonna do a thing.
Oh,
But I'm gonna let Matt do the thing first.
Okay, so it would be a 10 total.
Okay. I would say you met the minimum requirement.
Okay.
So
Yes.
how does the minimum happen?
Look, I'll say this, and Candace, if you wouldn't mind jumping in, Bob like does the hand thing, and then he starts to get really nervous, really anxious, and so like Bob's worry is overshadowed by Caeora's sheer showmanship, because Bob is like, oh, it's not doing anything. Oh no, people are watching me. This is a problem. But then Caeora is just so magnificent, so incredible, that it ends up being a good show. It's almost like we're playing back and forth here of anxious and confident.
Caeora got an 18 on her
Oh my
performance
God.
check.
Okay.
As it's like kind of at its, and then Caeora is really selling this. Like Oda just like peeks over the top of the book and is gonna cast Veil of Dusk on the hand, so it starts to just like have shadows, like wispy darkness grow out of it. And if you look away, you almost can't see it from the corner of your eye because it's just this kind of shadowy shape. And then you lock in and you see the hand with black smoke rising out of it. It's smiling over the top of the book.
I'd say the barkeep was very enraptured by when Caeora entered and regaled us with this wonderful performance in this story. So kind of kept looking, and then when this hand thing started, he's kind of like leaning over the bar, like what in the heck? And he's kind of like leaning almost a little too far. And then there's this really fat, sleepy cat over in the corner that these are the only other two people that are in here. But as Caeora is regaling it, as the shadows are starting, and as the skeleton hand starts to twitch, the cat sort of opens one of its eyes and starts to turn just enough. And you guys feel like that's a lot for this cat. And it's incredible. And then you hear a boom as the bartender ends up falling over the other side of the bar as they were looking a little bit too far. Like, geez, shit. Whoa, sorry about that. I'll clean it up.
Caeora like goes to smack you on the back, but realizes like right before contact that you are a skeleton and they are made of actual stone. And then you feel like the gentlest like rub, like a on your shoulder. You and I are going to work on that. You see? Did you see? He almost hurt himself. You almost caused destruction of limb. And look at this cat. This cat doesn't open its eyes for just anyone.
Whoa.
High praise indeed.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Would you like some trough water?
Oh no, I'm okay. I am. Actually, and she takes like a little stein off of this little clip at her waist. She has a belt on that has all these clips on it. She takes the stein off. I would enjoy being seen with some. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And Bob will grab the stein and head out to the trough.
And I say we see our last character enter in. How does Moose enter?
We see the door thump a little, just a buff, as another
Eyes.
Moose on the other side, strapped to, he's got a few things. Got like packs and like a little backpack. He's got this big buster sword. Also strapped to his back, facing outwards so she can see very nice everything behind her. Or behind Moose, I should say. Is what would be for like kind of just regular, like medium-sized individual. Is like one of those kind of like, not a locket per se, but those little pictures that you can sit onto a desk that kind of like have a hinge in the center. You've got two little photos inside, about that size, a very fanciful picture, one half of one of those folding ones, strapped to Moose's back. A very gorgeous bugbear kind of looking over her shoulder with like a little blue earring, little ball earring kind of hanging from the ear. Moose is just trying to kick down the door but is unable to. It's just rat strength. And then finally, like, pushes, and you can see the door is slightly open. And then finally, Moose comes to the door, panting a little bit, looks around, looks at the place, looks at the cat, and is like, starts to like take out the sword.
Cat is slowly starting to push itself up, but it's really hard. And I'd say the tavern owner is like, "Oh no, and like picks him up.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Sort of
Yeah.
takes him into the back. He's like, "It's time for you to walk outside." And the cat's like, as you hear him kind of go to the back.
Slides the sword back into place and says, "I was here to defend your honor," and then starts kind of walking in.
Oh, that's very nice. You hear
know.
from Lady Ben Hamper behind it. I see Caeora, as you're about to walk outside, you look down, you see this mouse or this rat enter in with a little painting on its back.
Hi.
Caeora.
Yes.
Are you here for this thing?
Caeora like opens like its legs kind of wide, like in like a wide stance, and goes down to like a full squat to try and get closer to this creature. Yes, I do believe I am. Are you here for looks at the cat. Randallgast.
Yeah, I'm here for Brandlegast.
Yes, then you're in the right place. This is the rest of our
Oh.
party. For better or worse.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. I don't know who any of you are, but I'm Moose. This is my wife, Lady Ben Hamper.
Your
Pleased to
wife?
meet
And turns
Yeah.
around to show everybody the picture.
Oh, you all, whoa, look a little different than normal folk, eh?
Can we
Very
hear
tall.
her?
Yeah, you can.
You, my lady, are quite a vision. Stunning, if you will. I mean, I would
Hitting
have
on my
paid
wife?
several gold for you.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm in a good pose, hopefully.
Beautiful,
So.
yes. This is Oda. This is Bob. I'm Caeora. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Oda like kind of looks up, like has been listening, but very much looking like they haven't. Looks at Moose, looks at the painting, looks back at Caeora. You are very tall.
Yes. Yes, some might say too tall.
Do not have that opinion.
I wouldn't say that either.
I think like you see like this kind of deep gray tone appear under the veining around her cheeks. Like it's really hard to tell because she's like very gray and dark. But like you can kind of see this like almost like a reflection, like a shimmer kind of go through that area. Thank you. It makes me feel how do they say normal to have such compliments.
Why would you want to be normal?
Well, I don't want to be normal. It's just life seems a little easier if you are. But among friends, I think perhaps that's no longer a challenge.
Are we friends?
Definitely with present company, I feel like they're not as, strange as as can be, especially with this
Yes.
current company.
Yes, such comfort. Such comfort. Anyway, what does everyone like to do for fun? She like tries to change the subject, feeling very like in her feelings.
Aw. I like reading. I've been trying to see if there's anything I remember. Trying to, find something that really resonates with me.
I also read.
What are you reading?
It's my book.
Moose will climb up onto the table and like waddle over and kind of look at the book. He's gonna set Lady Ben Hamper down very gently, kind of like prop her up so she can see at the table before waddling over to look at the book.
It is very clearly this world's version of a Harlequin romance, and it's interspecies erotica, and it's just everything.
I can't read this. I'm married.
And Moose will back up and go over to Lady Van Hamper and whisper and be like,
It's lewd.
Oh dear. Do you think they have an extra copy?
What do you
If
want me to
Moose
read
leans
to you?
over,
We
they're
can read it
sitting.
together.
If Moose looks, they're sitting on 4 books to make them a height to reach the tabletop.
Can I have a book?
Oh, well, you shouldn't ask that. We just met
Why
these
not?
folks.
So?
We don't want to be rude.
Is that rude? Can I have a book?
They just pull one from beneath their little tail and hand it over. Just don't even look.
Thank you. It's a very big book.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you so much, Oda.
Still in the book.
I see they're real focused there.
What do you do for fun, Caeora?
Honestly, I'm still trying to figure that out. I've devoted the last 20 or so years of my life to learning bardry. Imagine a performer, an entertainer.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I sing a little bit. I'm not that good, but I am quite good at telling a story and playing a variety of instruments. And I suppose I do that for fun and for work.
Oh my gosh, Moose, I told you we needed to go to the theater more. This is going to be so great.
These are always really expensive, though.
Oh, well, I mean, now we have one traveling with us. I don't mean to say that you'll be performing for us for free or anything,
Oh,
but I'm
no,
just saying
no.
it's really incredible just to be around another artist.
I would love to uplift and strengthen and bolster our number. Please, it really is nothing. And of course, I appreciate someone with the artistry that you possess. I mean, look at you, divine. And I also see that Oda over there has a very strong appreciation for the literary arts as well. And from the looks of that cover, the illustrative ones as well.
It's a good book.
Very
Like
excited to
so.
read it. Very excited.
Oh, yes. Stones can't sweat, but she takes out a handkerchief anyway and dabs herself the way she's seen other people dab.
And I would say that we then see Danbury, the sort of like door open back up, and Danbury starts to walk in. He's like, "Oh, hey there! Oh, it looks like you're all here. That's great. Hi, my name's Danbury. Gonna be taking y'all. Might as well keep on get going pretty soon. We got quite a bit of way to travel, and glad to see that you're all here." And sort of, he kind of stops and he kind of squints, rubs his eyes a little bit, and he's like, you guys are here for the job, right?
Of course. What else?
At this point, Oda just reaches out, takes the glove, the skeletal hand off the table, hands it back to Bob. Just,
Thank you.
Who'd you say you guys are? What?
I'm Moose, and this is my wife, Lady
Hurrah,
Van Hamper.
Oh, okay. So you're married to a painting?
Yeah.
Okay, and your statue?
Yeah, well, I used to be.
Oh, what are you now?
Well, I am I suppose I'm a sentient slab of marble that's been sculpted into a lady.
Oh, and your Bones.
I'm Bob Gimble.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, you're right. That's.
I mean, you have
All right.
bones too.
Oh, yeah, I sure do. Sure, they're mine though. You can't have them.
I'm not gonna take yours.
Okay. Hey, good to know. Good to. He keeps looking at the cup, the mug that's on the table, and he keeps looking back at all of you, and he's like, "I swear I got water," and he's like, "Well, I guess we might as well just hit the road then. Y'all can fight, right?"
Yeah.
if I must.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess that's good enough for me. Well, hopefully we just don't encounter any trouble. And then we cut forward into time, back to the present moment. And we see, as the scene transitions, we see that forest, the Langdon Forest again in southern Calduria. We see this old road, overgrown onto the road, not very well taken care of. And we see this old stone fort from long, long ago that has crumbled to dust almost. And we see the fires slowly being put out, and we see this cart in the middle that has a bunch of covered a bunch of equipment boxes inside of it, as a battle has just ended. A dragon has flown by just a few seconds previously, and we see the last vestiges of a few goblin feet running off into a forest trail. And I would say we see our adventurers there. We see Danbury's pulling a crossbow bolt out of his shoulder, and we see all of our adventurers there. And how do you all react to the end of this battle?
I think Caeora like readjusts their garb and goes to kind of just check on everyone else.
Oda like takes a deep breath, and the tentacle kind of starts to retract. You watch this blackness climb back up their arm and return to being spots, and they take off their glasses, lick their eyeball, glasses go back on, looks around, heads towards a box because there might be a book in it.
Heck yeah. So you're going to go search some stuff. What is everyone else doing?
Moose kind of comes out of the rage, the tail shrinking back to normal rat length size. And he takes his blade and goes over to deceased goblin, kind of like slaps his blade on it a few times to clean it off, puts it back, and says, "My wife!" And immediately like runs down, he's like, "Oh God," and goes to check on Lady Danbury.
You jump into the back of the cart, and you see that the painting is right where you left it, safely, sort of like in a little corner that you specially made. But sitting a little bit next to it is that locked iron case. And as you go in, you look over at her, and she's like, I'm fine. I'm all right. I'm all right. Are you okay? There was a lot of scary business I was hearing from inside here.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm really pumped up. But I'm good.
You pumped up there, big guy?
Yeah, look at my muscles.
And flexes.
Oh, those are some big muscles there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
I made an enemy.
You did? Oh my goodness! I want to hear all about it.
Okay, so there's this guy. There's this goblin. His name.
It just starts going on like a tangent, like,
And this, and this, and this.
And she's just smiling and nodding. And then we jump over. And how does Bob Kimball react to this?
Bob he's confused. Like he's at the moment just thinking about Brandlegast, about the hat, and he's like, Danbury,
Yeah.
Did you see?
Jeez.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Yeah, that little spell you did at the end there kind of helped me out. I still can't believe y'all's magic. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't get so lucky.
Well, I was wondering. Okay, so the hat that the ghost goblin was wearing.
What?
That's not.
There's a hat?
There was a hat. Yeah, that's not like a normal hat. Like, it's not like a common hat, is it?
Oh, well, I guess I didn't really see the hat there. You said there was a hat on the goblin?
Yeah, it's just like, okay, I'm just trying to make sure, because that hat is also the hat that my friend wore, and I'm worried. But if a lot of people have that hat, if it's like if it's the fashion right now, then I'm less worried. But if it's a one-of-a-kind hat, then uh-oh.
I'd say you kind of describe the hat a little bit, and Danbury's like, "Oh no, yeah, that's a wizard hat, my friend. That's something pretty pretty unique.
The unkind wizard wears one, but it is a different color.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound good. And I think like kind of if you all hear these words kind of putting together that, something might have happened to Brandlegast. If they have their hat, their very unique hat, one that you all recognize. I don't know.
If Brandlegast doesn't have his hat, does that mean he's like dead?
I
Oh,
hope.
I wouldn't say that. That seems a little bit too extreme. I mean, that's a wizard we're talking about. They kind of, sent down from Faerû to kind of safeguard the world. One of the most powerful, persons in the world. I mean, they got magic like nothing. Danbury looks a little bit nervous. I want to get paid, damn it.
Yeah, so do I.
If they have harmed Bramblegast, I will destroy them.
Brandlegast has agreed to assist me in figuring out some personal things, so I would really like to figure out what happened to him as well.
Weren't they looking for like something in the cart?
And points to the box.
This. What's in the box?
Danbury's like, I don't know, friend. I only picked up what was on the list. So the other folks kind of sent it or whatnot. So I ain't never looked at any of the things. Don't want to. Danbury's kind of like, I don't know. I mean, hey, you know what? I'm gonna walk over here to make sure that fire's out. Whatever happens in the few minutes that I'm gone is not my problem. And he starts to walk away. And I would say before, I guess as the group was sort of talking about that, I didn't know, Oda, you did want to go and look for something.
Yeah,
Give
Oda's
me a
kind of-
perception or investigation check.
Yeah, just kind of digging through. Okay, perception. I guess we'll take investigation. That's a 15.
Incredible. Roll me a d8.
Ooh. 3.
3. Incredible. Okay, so as you're kind of like looking around through these dead goblins or the boxes that have been around here, I also will remind you guys, there is one unconscious goblin that is on top of the wall. He did knock them out.
Mhm.
They are still sort of knocked out, but they're up there. As you're looking through, kind of like rifling through the pockets, looking through the various boxes and things, as you open one of the boxes, you see a little kind of like shitty looking broom in there. And you also see that there's like a little pouch of like 25 gold. But as you kind of look at this little broom that looks pretty shoddily put together and that little thing of gold, you feel something bite your leg. You kind of pull away and you see, you hear the sounds of like what looks like moving boxes, and you look behind you and you see this little chest that you see a little purple tongue coming back from inside of the chest. And you see like it's little decorations on the side of the box on the corners have turned around to make little legs. And it has like four little legs and one little eye in the center of the chest. And you see this little mimic creature kind of like backing up. It's like, and it sort of backs away from you. And then it goes, and it like spits out 2 little bags, and they fall to the ground, kind of covered in this little purple saliva. And then and it seems very happy that it just spit up these things, and it looks at you, and you hear the little wagging of something metal on its like backside.
Are you food?
just keeps shutting and opening its mouth and wagging its tail.
I don't know a lot about human pets. What is this? Do you know what this is? Any of you? Do you have any?
Give me everyone can give me an Arcana check if you'd like.
Great.
Or a nature, I guess, if you would prefer to do a nature check.
This dice is going in jail because that was a natural one, so we get wild magic.
Oh,
Wild
yeah!
magic, wonderful.
Let's go.
Roll me a D10, a D100, or I guess just a D100.
Okay. That's not where I keep my percentile dice.
What did everyone else get if you wanted to roll Arcana or nature? Got a
9.
10? Oh, a 9. A what?
14.
14?
as well.
14.
Oh.
Okay, I would say that Moose and Caeora, you've heard of these creatures before, known as mimics. These things usually live in dungeons or old castles, fortresses, things like that, and they pretend they copy inanimate objects in order to sort of like eat people or to get food. They're kind of like a like a chameleon type creature, or like a spider that burrows underneath the ground and makes like a fake little hatch over it of the dirt. But this is kind of an evolution of that type of a creature, and it pretends to be inanimate objects. But this one just coughed up something and is not eating, which is very strange. This isn't usual from the stories that you've heard from the adventurers. I would say Moose specifically, you probably remember Goose talking about encountering a couple of mimics in his day. But yeah, this is very strange. And sorry.
Caeora just looks at it. What is wrong with you? I am not a mimic. I am a statue that's been turned sentient. Technically, you and I are the same thing, but not at all. So what is wrong with you? Use your words.
It walks over, starts biting at your leg.
Well, it's cute. That's all I've got.
Moose is going to try and speak to it using telepathy. It doesn't need to understand a language, but it just needs to be able to speak. If it has no language, that's okay.
Okay.
So Moose is going to telepathically reach out. So all of you are just hearing the squeaking, as Moose is like, "Who are you?"
What? Who said that?
Me.
Who are you?
I'm Moose. Who are you?
I don't know. I like eating things that I'm not supposed to eat, and then they hurt my tummy and I spit them up.
Okay, what can you eat? Cheese? I'm not giving you any.
I like eating things that tickle.
Like feathers?
No, it's kind of like it makes it feel fuzzy. Like,
Mold?
no, it's like, and kind of looks around. And I would say, do any of you have any sort of magic items on you?
I mean, not unless this broom.
Yeah, I would say it probably runs over towards the broom and is like, this, I like eating this, but my tummy doesn't like it.
Oh, okay. My tummy doesn't like cheese, so I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, okay. So you spit up everything that you eat eventually too.
It doesn't come out that way, but yeah.
What way does it come out? And you see the chest kind of tilts a little bit, kind of like a dog.
I think the camera pulls out, it's just squeak, 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 squeak.
Climb, 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 climb. And then we jump over to Oda. And what was the number that you rolled for the wild magic?
So I think like Oda looks at this little creature and you see like a dawning coming into their eyes. There's like a moment of like, oh, and then probably don't see it because you're all focused on the mimic. There's a moment of like they kind of flinch and shake their head as it just they can't think about that. And a wild magic surge hits with a 2. 00.
Okay, yes. So, I'm just gonna say so this result is basically you need to just roll on this table each turn for the next minute.
Oh my gosh.
So basically, just a bunch of stuff is gonna happen. So what I want you to do is we're just gonna roll 10 times. I want you to write down 10 different numbers and then just send those in the chat, and we'll just see what happens.
What am I rolling?
D100 again.
Oh, another
so
D100.
Just get
10
get
times.
10 sort of numbers. So while you're rolling that, we see, I would say these conversations are happening over in one side of the screen, and the other side of the screen, it kind of like slowly moves over, and we see like just some sort of weird magic, like little lightning kind of like a static charge. I don't know if Oda has hair, but if they did, it's like slowly starting to become on end, and something is about to happen, like an explosion. And as this is kind of building up, I would say as this is building up, you guys hear a thump coming from just beyond that sort of where that goblin trail was. As all the goblins were sort of running off in that direction, you hear a thump, and then you look over, you see a goblin body with 2 crossbow bolts in its back, and you see 3 figures step out into the clearing. And the first one, who's wearing a cowboy hat, says, "This one yours? Sorry, friends, we just heard a little bit of a ruckus and want to see if everyone's all right." And you see stepping out a tiefling woman who has a very cool looking horns that kind of circle back, cowboy hat. It looks like they have like a ranger outfit on, but it's more kind of cowboy-esque out. And they have 2 hand crossbows on their hips with these sort of like crossbow bolt bandoliers around their thighs. And behind them is there's a very well-dressed elven woman, and then what seems to be a teenage-looking minotaur, a boy, and looks kind of bashful, and is a very large, sort of looming in the back, but trying to make themselves look small.
How big is he compared to Caeora?
Actually, there might be similar. How tall is Caeora?
I feel like I said Caeora is like 6'3".
Okay, I would say they're like 6'5", so like very, very close. They sort of step out, and you see this woman in the front said all of that. How do you all respond?
Caeora is distracted by her being hot, and just sort of like stands there, like goes into statue mode for a second.
Oda has.
You all right there?
Who are you?
Oh, hey. Well, hey there, friend. Sort of
We're
like
not
leans
friends.
over. Oh, well, sorry. A little Spitfire, huh? Just you folks all right? It seems like there might have been a little tussle here with some goblins.
We handled
Seems like
it.
y'all handled yourself pretty well.
Oda's like got the broom and is like using their tail to scoop the 2 bags that the mimic coughed up behind them. Like, mine, ours, you don't get.
Incredible.
Bob is gonna he's gonna walk forward and say, "Hi, I'm Bob," and then he's gonna look over to Caeora and do like a little nod, as like Bob has kind of taken this as to be his act now, and he's gonna take his hand off and put it on the ground.
Incredible. I'd say, you see this woman sort of sticks her hands out, shakes hands, like, "Well, nice to meet you, Bob. Name's Keen. And this here," and sort of hooks a thumb. Did we, out of character, have we gotten any names submitted?
No NPC
No, we
names
cannot.
yet.
That's
no.
totally fine. So I would love to get names for both of these NPCs from our players. I would love to get a name for the fancy elven woman and a name for the teen minotaur. Anyone can shout them out.
I mean, I could inflict psychic damage on this group by saying the elven woman should be Drixalia.
Oh no.
That doesn't
That's fine,
connect to
but,
me, but that's fine.
Oh. Oh.
What is
fine.
that? Turksalia? How do you spell that?
We do not have to do it. That was a
Okay,
joke.
all
I'm
right.
not going to make you go through that.
It's a
Okay.
godplane joke, and it's terrible.
Okay.
Deep psychic damage.
They do not want help from this person.
No.
Okay, so fancy elven woman and teen minotaur. Let's get some names.
Fancy elven woman can be Evangeline Greenhorn.
Evangeline Greenhorn. I love it.
I think maybe the Minotaur can be named B.
B. Okay.
B.
Heck yeah. Love it.
A moose, a goose, and a bee.
Goose and the Bee. Heck yeah. The Adventures of Moose and Bee. So we see sort of Keen, this tiefling woman sort of hooks a thumb. She's like, that there fancy one is Evangeline Greenhorn, and that there's B. And you all are?
Aurora Toonbrook. It's lovely to meet you. You came to check on our party?
Well, I mean, not particularly. We were out hunting. Got a festival to kind of stock up for, but heard some stuff and decided to head this way. And that's when I ran into, well, your friend here. Kind of looks down at the goblin on the ground.
I see. A festival, you say?
Oh, yeah, Dawn Festival. And I would say you've heard of the Dawn Festival before. It's kind of like a harvest festival everywhere else, but it's very short. Kind of like a one-day type thing. Not all that special. Like, oh, they might have like a dance party or something like that night. Yeah.
And
they're
have
like,
you seen Brandlegast the Wizard recently? I know he roams around these parts, goes from city to city.
Brandlegast. Sort of crosses arms. Wizard? The blue wizard Brandlegast?
Yes, the same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Brandlegast. Yeah, he always brings fireworks that the kids really like, and yeah, folks really like him around here. Haven't seen him about like 5 years though. Why?
These goblins had an article of clothing of Brandlegast's and were afraid that he's been taken off by one of them.
Oh what? Oh damn! What?
Is there a dragon that
You
lives
think
in this area?
Whoa! What? Dragon? you been smoking something, friend? There ain't no dragons around here.
We saw a shadow of a dragon. Is the problem?
What?
You know what? You have an event to plan for.
What?
We will be on our merry way.
Hold on a second. Wait, hold on. So you're saying that one of the 7 wizards might have been captured by these dang Cragmaw goblins?
It seems like that, yes.
What the? Well, that's weird. The Cragmaw goblins usually keep to themselves. I don't know why they'd be.
One of
Wizard
them's
rat.
also a wizard.
What?
One of them's also a wizard.
Oh, the goblins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Huh.
know where their base is?
Well, no, they usually kind of keep to themselves. Like I said, they kind of traded once or twice. They've been here kind of like, seemed like a decade, but they kind of kept to themselves. If they were on the roads, robbing folks or something like that, we'd know about it. But, I mean, hey,
This was an ambush.
Caldurian roads aren't that, safe anyways, but wizard rat. Hey, you folks, are you going to try to help this wizard or something?
If they
We'd
have hard
like to.
Bramblegast, I will destroy them.
Okay, well, hey, sort of looks at her friends. if you need some help or something, I know the area a little bit, well, better than you do, unless you folks from around here. I could help you out. Maybe try to track down this goblin wizard of yours or something. I can help out, but because yeah, we know. Yeah, if you're looking for help, I'd be happy to oblige.
That'd be
Carl,
great.
Like, looks at Moose before looking at Bob to see what Moose's face is like, and then looks at Oda's face. Bob, could we would you give us one moment, please?
Yeah.
We would like to step away for one moment and speak with our comrades.
Yeah, sure thing. And you see, like, King kind of nods, and then she kind of looks over, and she's like, "Danbury, is that you?" And then Danbury's like, "Oh, hey, is that you? Oh, it's King, man. It's been quite some time." She's like, "How you doing, you old fart?" And then he kind of goes over, and they kind of talking. They're talking a little bit as you guys kind of move over.
Dare I ask what all is going on with me?
Did you send me the numbers?
I put them in chat.
Yeah.
We will. Please discuss.
I'm terrified of how bad this is going to go.
I wonder if these folks are safe to travel with. I know that there is a lack of caution, usually from Bob, because he is quite a lovely and charming person and wants to trust me. But also, I do also trust Oda and Moose, your brand of nihilism and caution. So if perhaps you could let us know, what do you think of the situation?
I mean, I think we can take them out if we need to. Take them down to the knees.
And makes like swooshing noises with he doesn't pull out a sword, but he's like whoosh, whoosh. With hands.
I was more asking, not to kill or to name, but to trust. Trust them, maybe.
The Minotaur is large, but if they betray us, I will also destroy them.
Yes.
At the knees.
Caeora looks at Bob. Well, I suppose we should trust them then, because
Yeah. They're
Yes.
friends of Danbury.
that's true, and Danbury wouldn't hurt a fly.
Exactly.
The look on Caeora's face is that of like a stone blank expression, but inside it's going, okay, so if we get destroyed on this trip, who's gonna come after us to tell the tale? You gotta stay alive, girl. You gotta stay alive.
Oda's little head cocks to one side, looks at Danbury, looks at the tiefling. It is a good thing she is fire resistant.
And I would say that is unfortunately the last thing that we hear from Oda for a few minutes. As this conversation is happening, several things. You see a little static electricity. First thing, a little spectral shield starts to float around your head, coming from the ether. This is all happening as the conversation is ending. You then see Oda, you start to levitate a little bit. Then a third eye appears on your forehead. It starts to look around. There, you turn a brilliant shade of blue. There are now 3 copies of you around that also have this third eye in the shade of blue. Then you turn into a sheep. And then you start to levitate even higher as that sheep, and
These are just going.
you feel the potential to do a lot of damage very soon, and then you can also feel the potential to take an extra action as well, and then then everyone around you becomes more durable. Like if there was piercing damage to come at you, you would all be resistant to that. So all of that, third eye, shields, multiple copies, sheep.
So there's an electric blue sheep with three electric blue sheep with 3 eyes floating with shields surrounding them.
Yeah. And I would say for just like 30 seconds as everyone kind of turns, and then you are back to normal, but you are still a shade of blue, and that is permanent.
What just happened? What was that?
What was what?
What did it happen? Oh, that just happened. It's just sheep. 3. You're blue. You're very blue.
This is strange.
What the squeak was that?
I'd say then Danbury kind of walks over and he's like, oh yeah, hey guys, so yeah, that there's Keen, sort of chatted with her a couple times back here when I used to travel over here about 5 or so years ago when I was working for Goose and Gander couriers, and pretty good. But it seems like if y'all wanted to go after those goblins on that trail, it seems like the Evangeline and B would be fine with the. I could take the cart back to Kettlebrook, which just seems to be about a couple more hours ride that way, and I can go back with them, make sure nothing happens. If you wanted to follow the trail, or what's y'all's thoughts?
Very quickly, thank you, Pirate, for the raid, and welcome, Raiders.
Yeah. Welcome.
I would like to stop whomever potentially harmed that wizard. Says the now suddenly blue-spotted kobold.
You do something different with your eyes or something?
Licks eye.
Oh, okay. Can't get used to that. Yeah, what y'all think?
Will you be safe, Danbury?
Oh, I'll be fine. Me and Betsy will deal with any sort of problem. You see him hook a thumb at his crossbow, sitting on the cart.
Are we taking this with us?
Points to the mimic.
I'm naming you Chester.
I think we should. It is cute, and I don't want to just leave it here. It doesn't appear to be eating properly, for what
It
it's
needs
worth.
It needs things that like buzz in his tummy.
I will say you do see the 2 little bags that
Yeah,
it burped up earlier.
I'm ready to dig into those, especially when the tiefling's not looking, because I'm just suspicious of people taking our things.
I would say you open up these 2 bags. One of them, you hear a lot of clinking little glass. And this is one of the little Ko-Fi rewards from last time. This we see a bunch of potions in here. You see, let's see, you see 7 potions in here. 4 of them are a pinkish red color. Another one is a little bit translucent white. There is one that is a golden color, and then another one that is a greenish color. I would say you all can kind of like test out these little potions if you want. But I would say since you are like some more beginning adventurers, you don't know exactly what this does right away. But you have 7 potions. Who would like to put them in their bags, or whoever is going to have it, write that down in your inventory, or who is going to carry it?
I think Oda will just, without a word, start just passing out one of the pink red ones to everyone, since there's 4. And then the white one will hand to Caeora, because it matches the marbling on its veins.
Heck yeah.
And then just has a gold and a green, and is like, And I assume like is holding it high, because I assume Chester is like, I might want to eat those again now that they're out of the bag.
And then in the other bag, you see that there is a wand, a little pouch, a ring, and a hat that has a bunch of feathers on it.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
They'll just hand it over.
on.
You put it on? Okay,
Puts on the hat.
immediately,
Down.
Moose, I need you to roll me a 2d10s and tell me
Oh,
the results
no.
separately.
Oh no, I've made a
Great.
mistake, haven't I?
Can
First
I
D10.
Can I examine that ring?
Yes,
The thing I can
100%.
do?
Yeah, I would say you can take, so at least in D&D for anyone else who doesn't know in the audience, when you find items that you think are magical, I would say potions you can kind of like take off the stopper, sniff it, or sip it, and you can understand what it does. But magical items, you can spend a short rest examining it, and then you learn how it is, or if you have the identify spell. So Oda, you can begin to start looking at that ring, he said?
Yes, that's
Heck
the ring.
yeah. Yes, you start examining that. And Moose, what was the D10s that you rolled?
So I got an 8 and a 1.
Incredible. Roll me a D4 now.
Oh, I would love to.
Does anyone
That's-
want the green or the gold potion? Those are
4. Incredible. So as soon as you put on the hat, you hear, and 4 seagulls fly at you and start attacking you. I need you to, I'm going to roll attacks for all of these seagulls on you.
Why is this the most accurate thing that could happen to Moose?
Let's see. What is your AC, Moose?
My AC is like not great. It's 13.
Okay, so you get hit twice. So you just get 2 damage from these seagulls, and they just keep attacking you. What would you like to do?
I think Moose is gonna take out his sword and like with the flat end just start like waving it around trying to slap these birds away.
Get this my hat. My hat.
Give me like an attack or an intimidation. Give me an intimidation
I
on these
would.
seagulls.
Love to intimidate the seagulls. That is a 13.
13. I would say you kind of like bat one of them away, and it kind of like flies back. It looks like it's a little bit hurt, but for some sort of like red glint in its eyes, shing, like shines, and it goes right back to attacking you. And I would say this kind of goes on for like a minute, and then eventually the seagulls, the sort of red glint in their eye goes away, and then they start to. It seems like they kind of wake up, and then they just fly away.
Yes, where's my hat? Get away from my hat.
Bob is gonna like watch that happen and then look over to Oda and say, "Nothing for me, thanks."
So again, there was a wand, a pouch, a ring, and then this hat that had bird feathers on it. So we know that Moose has the bird feather hat. We know that Oda is examining the ring.
Yes.
There is a wand and a pouch still to be distributed if anyone wants them.
Even as Bob says that, Oda's just gonna push the gold potion into his hand and just be like, "This matches your magic," and is still just very focused on this ring.
All right. And Bob will take it and then immediately like duck down, hoping that he isn't attacked by seagulls.
You wait. No seagulls come.
Okay. Thank you, Oda. I appreciate it.
Still focused on the ring, just with the other hand holds up the pouch and the wand towards Caeora.
Yes, all right. I suppose I might be able to use this. And she kind of like pinches it away from you and is like holding it like
Did you take one or both?
one wand.
Took the wand.
From you.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
What's the other
who
item?
has the? It was a little like pouch, kind of like.
Wand or a pouch.
Yeah, probably about like this big. It looks like it might have several different pockets in it. It feels like it might be like sand or other sort of things inside of it.
If you need me to take that because I'm the largest person here, I will take it.
I just want people to have things if they want them. This ring is interesting. You're all distracting.
What?
Caeora just like grabs the pouch too. Does anything weird happen to me while I'm holding this wand on the
Everyone's
couch?
so afraid now.
You pick up the pouch and the wand, and nothing happens. It seems like they might be activated in a different way if they are to be activated.
I think she holds the wand and kind of goes over it and looks at it and like tries to make a connection with it the way that she's like tried to connect with her instruments.
Okay, cool. So kind of like taking a short rest to examine this type of thing.
If this is an appropriate time, if it is not an appropriate time to do that, then
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Oda has
appropriate.
already decided this is the appropriate
Yeah.
time. So.
I would say, like, as everyone's kind of like picking up things, making sure everyone's okay, talking with the new folk, I would say you kind of are doing this all while that's happening.
Cool.
And I would say that Oda will figure out your thing first. You learn that this is a ring of inanimate speech. So what this does is you can talk to inanimate things. You have not, there seems to be a little bit more to that, but you'll have to try it out to see what happens. But that is what you learn. You know how to activate it. There doesn't seem to be any, like, any sort of dangerous effects immediately noticeable. It doesn't feel super powerful, so it doesn't seem like this is going to be cursed or anything like is going to come back at you.
They will nod and take it, and they kind of stand and balance on one foot with they've got that fat little leopard gecko tail kind of moving to balance. They're gonna like put it on a toe, so it's a toe ring. And it just shrinks down to their little tiny hand-like foot. Like, that was good.
Incredible. Now you have that inanimate speech ring. I would say, Moose, you learn that hat is the hat of bird ire. And it seems like it is only one use per day, sort of thing. And I would say, since you have experienced it, you know that it summons a random type of bird, a random number of birds, and it will attack the wearer until it takes it off or until 2 rounds have passed.
Ah, I think realizing this, it's like,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna beef with some birds every day. All right, let's go. That's my different thing.
Heck yeah. And I'd say, Caeora, you know that the little pouch that you have. Oh wait, no, did you want the wand? You were examining the wand.
I'm examining the wand, but I have both the wand and the pouch, so I will be examining the pouch next.
Yeah, I'll say since these are part of the totally useful items, Ko-Fi, that we just kind of learn what they do. So first, you know that the wand is a wand of scowls and smiles. If you all know that item, basically, I think we will look it up online, but basically you point at someone and they smile, or you point at someone and they now scowl. So it has both of those options there. If we just look up the wand of scowls, it's the same thing. And the other one is Heward's handy spice pouch. Nothing weird about it. It's just a bunch of spices. You just have a bunch of spices that you can bring out from there.
I think with that, she kind of like looks over at the others. We would, I think, like your assistance if you'd like to come and maybe take a seat. If you have any rations you'd like to eat while we are just here enjoying ourselves, getting to know one another before we alight back on our journey.
Oh yeah, sure thing. Keen kind of walks over. You see the other folks walking over, and I guess Danbury kind of like readying the cart and everything like that. As you are all, I guess, examining all of these things. And what do you all do?
If Keen has a sandwich or a snack that she's eating, Caeora like thinks back to being on the road with her caravan, and it thinks about like the things that it's seen and taken in of people cooking, like around their campfires, and picks whichever spice calls to them the most, and goes, "May I?"
Give me just a luck check Caeora. I'm just looking for a 10 or above.
Seven.
Okay, so I would say Keen is kind of like does have like a sandwich. He's like, yeah, sure, pour it on. And you kind of put whatever this spice is on there, and they kind of bite. Well, I didn't think that a cumin would go good on this sort of sandwich here. Bit spicy too. Oh, that's a weird flavor right
Yes.
there.
You have a real tongue, so you can taste things. I'm so sorry. I was just going based off of what I'd seen other people do. Roderick is quite an interesting fellow. A bit of a chameleon, and he enjoys cumin on pretty much everything.
Yeah, I'll save that for later.
My apologies. And I think like it puts the pouch away and like just turns back into statue mode for a minute. Just like sits and like looks off into the distance.
Oda just looks her up and down. Your hat is fancy.
Oh, thanks, friend. It's thank you. It's my own. I like it as well. I like your hat, or your hat.
I do not have a hat.
Well, hood, I guess. So what's your deal? I kind of turns towards towards Caeora. How long have you sort of gestures?
Oh, I'm over 950 years old, but I've only been sentient for about 20.
Well, say you don't look a day past 20, I gotta say.
Thank you. I try to keep up looking good. I want to go visit a mason or someone, a carver or a sculptor when I get to another city. I have some missing pieces, and I don't know what they could have been. Brandlegast is supposed to be assisting me in figuring out what happened to me, where I come from, and more details about whomever I was shaped to look like. Usually statues, I suppose, are memorials, and I don't know what kind of memorial I am, but I am here trying to spread joy and apparently miserable tastes wherever I can.
Well, hey, no, that's it's just well, you don't have to worry about that, but I mean, hey, that's got to be tough, not knowing exactly who you are. But I mean, hey, speaking of that wizard, she sort of stands up. She's like, "We gonna be on our way, or?"
Yes, I should say so. Are you all ready?
Yeah. Oda will just push the broom into Bob's hands. And, yes.
Do you need me to clean? I can clean.
And I'm also going to hand out the gold.
Heck yeah. So I guess
everyone gets like 6.
Yeah. So as we're kind of like all dispensing all this stuff, having some food, checking out these items, is there anything else that you'd like to do? We can also go on to Owlbear real quick. If we wanted to pop that open so that everyone else can see. This is the fight area after the fight. There is an unconscious goblin up there. A couple crates. You all folks are standing there. I guess I will also. There are some folks. I'll sort of move over into the thing.
So
These
cute.
these are our new friends. I will rename them. This is B.
I think Oda is going to start to look at Moose, think better of it, look up at Caeora. Will you come assist me? And is gonna head towards the ladder and up the wall.
Yes, you lead the way. What do you need from me? Just follows.
Yeah. Make sure that this one does not attack me if he wakes up. Please.
Yes, don't worry about it. And I think she takes out like a dagger from her boot and holds it to like the neck of the goblin as you do what you need to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little search his pocket, see if there's anything identifiable, any letters, what can I get out of him before I wake him up?
Okay. Give me an investigation or a perception. See if there's anything good in there.
That's a 16 investigation.
Okay, yeah, I would say you pull out what seems to be a piece of parchment that's like kind of stained a little bit with like sweat and a little bit of blood and like a little bit of maybe like mead or something like that. But on it is scrawled a really poorly drawn map. And you sees like there is like the road, and then there's a line through like a bunch of trees, and then there is a hole which it says cave, and just kind of like little lines and scribbles throughout in like goblin, and yeah, that's what you see on the little paper.
I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna turn it over, and then press it to their tongue. Blood, sweat, and mead. I may know. Looks at the very bad drawing. I may have an idea of their location. Do we wish to wake him up?
Well, I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
And they're just gonna smack him in the face. And if that doesn't work, then they're gonna call the cleric.
Hello? Who are you?
Oh, Dax.
Go away! You're bad!
You may call me Oda.
Oh, okay.
What have you done with Bramblegast?
Who?
Just leans down so their snoot is like this far from his nose. The blue wizard, the kind one.
What, blue wizard? We didn't take any blue. I saw a blue hat.
Yes.
Do you want a blue hat?
Yes.
Zippertress has that.
How did he get it?
I don't know. They just tell us to go to the road and to feed things that are special and bring them back. Because if we don't bring them back, then it'll feed us to the beast, and we don't want that.
What beast and what components and what spell?
I don't know. Hey, look, guy, I'm a goblin. I don't freaking know.
The very tip of the little tail is twitching as they look up at Caeora, just like very not happy with no answers.
Look. Okay, look. I don't like Zippertrash. I don't like Ziff. He's a jerk. He turns people into bones, and I don't like that. So I don't have really any loyalties to this guy. He's a jerk. All right. So if you want to, I don't know. I don't know anything about a wizard, but he fancies himself a wizard. So maybe he's a wizard. I don't know.
Where can we find him?
Can I get up?
It depends on whether or not you tell us where we can find him.
He just points.
Holds a finger up. Bob,
Yeah?
come here.
All right. Bob's gonna climb the ladder up.
And we'll point at the gobbo and then point at Bob. Tell him what you said.
Don't kill me.
About why do you not like the one who stole the blue heart?
Yeah. Well, Ziff is kind of a jerk, and if you don't do what he says, he either feeds you the beast or he turns you into bones.
What?
He feeds you the beast or turns you into bones.
So maybe this Ziff guy turned me. Okay, so can he do it? Can he reverse it?
I've never seen him do something like that, but I mean, I guess you could ask him.
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay, he's not very nice, so I don't think he'd do it. But I guess you could always ask.
He should really want to work with us. I mean, we might not look effective, but we are nothing if not bloodthirsty. So.
Okay, he worked for Kragma a while ago, but then he started kind of getting his own ideas, and so I don't really know who he works for now, so maybe he could work for you. I don't know.
Kragma.
Kragma's the leader. He's a big goblin. He has a different house.
Well, that one did not attack us, so that is not my problem.
Okay.
Will you lead us?
You want me to be your leader?
No.
I'll do it.
I want
My
you to lead us to
name
the cave.
is Sausage, and I'm gonna be your new leader.
Just start summoning shadows.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. I can be co-leader. It's fine. Co-leader? Sticks out his hand.
Looks up at Caeora again.
We are an egalitarian group where no one is leader. So I don't understand why you're so obsessed with leading people when you have just been quite properly defeated by these same folk.
Oh well. I mean, look. I grew up in the mud, and all I know is whoever's scariest is the leader. So I mean, I don't know what that fancy egalitarian. Is that the type of horse or something? I don't know. But if you can tell
The
me, then I
scariest
would be
is the
happy
leader?
to. Yeah.
Oh, and I think Caeora throws a glance at Oda.
Just such the biggest smile yet.
I mean, what else is there? I mean, if you're the scariest and baddest, you just hurt someone if they don't do what you want.
The baddest, you say?
Yeah.
Moose. Dear Moose, could you come up here, please?
A moose will scramble up.
Yes.
What is that?
What is that? What is
Oh my
that?
God, no!
Takes out
Get
the sword.
away.
So, like I said, there appears to already be a leader and co-leader, or two co-leaders here. So, if you would like
Okay.
to be with me and Bob as just a member of this party, you're free to join us as long as you don't backstab anyone. However, as far as being the baddest or the scariest, I think those positions are filled.
Okay, so wait, so you're saying you're not gonna kill me or hurt me, and you'll let me be part of your group?
If you behave yourself, yes.
Oh, okay, so threat of violence in case. Okay, all right, I can understand this. This.
It's not so much a threat of violence as a threat of leaving you in the forest by yourself.
I
Okay,
have not
well,
been allowed to eat a rat or a seagull today. You do not look delicious, but you could be.
We have
Okay.
spices.
I
Like I
don't
said,
want to wear this.
Who are you people? I thought you were farmers, and now you're trying to eat me? What's
What?
happening?
Who are you?
I'm Sausage.
Looks over to Oda.
Edible.
Sounds
What?
delicious.
No, that's just a name. Like restaurant or Ripper
Those are not names.
or Sox Jr. He's dead now.
Ah, I wanted Sax Jr. to live.
Yeah, I could change my name. I'm not
You be
married to
Sax
anything.
Senior?
I'll be Sox Senior. That's changed officially now. I'm Sox Senior.
All
I do
right,
no
not
more
want to eat
sausage.
socks.
I'm Sox Senior.
Well,
Oh.
are you coming or not?
Do you want? I could come. I could eat.
All right. Well, get in the cart. We're leaving soon. We're
Okay.
packing up.
All right.
Fling woman is friend. You will listen to her as well.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Hey, don't. I'm cool. I'm cool, man. You don't have to do nothing. I'm cool.
So tell me your tale, mightiest goblin. I figure you must be the mightiest, as you're still the only
Oh.
one here that is alive. So you must be a mighty goblin. I am a storyteller of mighty people. Tell me of your life, goblin.
You want to hear about my life?
Yes.
But only while we are walking.
Kara, give me a persuasion with advantage.
Oh no, making a bard do persuasion. How cruel. How dare you?
All right. The first one is a 13. The second one's a 10.
Okay. Well, even with the 13, I would say you, as you're sort of talking with this goblin, you realize that it seems with what they're saying, they don't seem to be very aware of kindness. It doesn't seem like they might have experienced very much of that. And just this little bit that you kind of said, like, hey, tell me, Stormy, you must be really great. You see them kind of like they look a little confused. And you see a little sort of wet in their eyes, and they're like, what's happening? What's wrong? You want to hear about me? Sock Senior?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was born in the mud, and then I joined the Cragmoth Goblins because they were the only ones around, and then we fought other goblins, tried to unite the world, and then we came over here, and then I fought a deer once, and I lost, and then there was a bugbear. He left, and then there was a hobgoblin, and we fought him, and we lost. And then I fought a big pig, and I got that one. And then Zephytraz made it come over here to kind of go on the road. And then we fought a couple farmers on the road and got those pretty good. And then I'm here. I die for you.
That's very exciting. A big pig. Let me tell you, so many people are gored every year. I don't have the facts and figures in front of me, but I know it's more than one. More than one person is gored by a large pig per year. And if you are not gored and you have lived to tell the tale, that's quite impressive in my book.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty grateful. It's very cool. I learned from seeing the other goblins get gored, so I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I jumped. When they came, I jumped. And when it was coming, I jumped. And they got out of the way. So I didn't do that today, though. I'll learn.
Kara looks at the others and kind of nods. See? Sock Senior learns. I think that's better than zero. No?
Yeah.
Senior learns.
We all learn, he learns. Maybe we all learn together on the road. For example, today, Keen learned that she does not like humans.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Oda just hands the map up to Keen.
All right, thanks. I don't know what the hell that was. And steps away. I would say as this wonderful conversations are happening, does anyone else want to do, what is the plan here? It seems like this goblin trail through the forest is not going to fit the cart because you are going through the forest.
Yeah,
so
well, he
the
was
question is, do you
take it on, right?
Yeah. Do you want Danbury to go with B and Evangeline to Kettlebrook to take the cart?
Yeah, I think that's the best plan.
I think before we approve that, Moose has to go size up B and make sure.
I have to make sure that well, I have to confirm what my wife wants to do first.
Okay. Okay. Well, what do I want to do? Well,
do you want to stick with the card, or do you want to like? I mean, there's like, there might be, I don't know, there's magic and stuff. Very scary, but I just want to make sure you're safe. But what do you want to do?
Well, okay. I've got an idea. Well, what you could do is you could put me in the cart, and I could keep an eye on it, so that when you come back, if anything suspicious has happened, I can tell you exactly what happened. So if you hide me in there somewhere, I can act like a painting, because I'm pretty good at that. And then if anyone kind of comes up or takes something, I can see them.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I'll be the watchful eye in the cart.
You're so good. You're so smart. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh gosh. Oh, you're just a flatterer, you. Oh goodness. But you be careful, okay?
I will. Don't worry. I've got lots of other taller people who I won't hide behind because I'm a brave man,
Okay.
but I'll protect them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
And gives a
Okay.
smooch on her cheek.
Okay.
And you put her in the cart. Danbury's kind of getting things readied up. Is there anything else that you wanted to do in the area? Search around for things? Did you want to look at that case? Anything else around here before we go into the forest?
So we did have a donation for a very specific
Oh.
NPC and name if you could fit that in.
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah, I think Oda is
Wonderful.
definitely checking for, any other items, anything we could figure out if anything's here, but is very focused on like, we have to go find Bramblebast. We have to do it. He is in danger. He saved me once. I will save him now.
He saved me too.
He made me pants. See these pants? Made those.
I didn't know he could do that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I gotta say. Making pants. I can't make pants.
I can't either.
Same.
I'm not sure if I have made pants.
So is there anything else that y'all want to do before we go? I do know that a couple of you might have been interested in that case or anything, or do we want to go?
Which case? I'm sorry.
The one that the goblins were trying to take inside of the cart. You also don't know, I guess, you also don't know what you are even bringing to the village. You don't have to look in the cart. You could have done it in the past if you want. We can do that retroactively. But you don't necessarily know what you're bringing or what you're escorting.
I think we were gonna check the box, but we got distracted by Chester.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. We can like add it in, like all of that stuff was happening at once, even though we're kind of a little over.
Oda does not particularly care about what is in that case.
I'm gonna have Lady Benhamper keep an eye on it.
Okay. Right, so it seems like everyone's ready to go,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. So I'll say, as you all are parting ways with B and Evangeline and Danbury, as the cart is ambling along the road, as they sort of wave goodbye, and you see Lady Benhamper in there keeping a close eye on stuff, you all turn towards the Langdon Forest, the forest that you all heard has to be haunted, perhaps. And you see this little trail, just big enough for a halfling, big enough for a goblin, and you all start to walk through the forest. As you're going through the forest, after a few minutes, it seems like quite a long trail as you're stepping through here. I would like everyone give me a wisdom saving throw.
"22, baby."
8.
16.
6.
Carrara, what did you get?
An 8.
Okay. So I would say, Bob Gimble, as you're walking through this forest, you walking forward, everyone's kind of like in front of you, around you, you're walking through, kind of like moving the branches out of the way. Keen is probably near the front, because it looks like she's a ranger. Sort of moving the branches out of the way, stepping over logs, moving underbrush, jumping over a little babbling brook. And when you jump over a babbling brook and you sort of land down, your friends are gone. You only see Keen at the front of the pack, and you see that Keen sort of stops, kind of turns around. She's like, "Hey, where'd they go?"
I don't know. I didn't hear I didn't hear anything.
What the? And so you see this little squirrel kind of amble onto this branch, and he goes, "Excuse me, would you follow me, please?" What the hell? Says Keen.
Do you know where our friends are?
I believe so. If you follow me, she does not like to be kept waiting. And starts to go across one of the branches.
Okay.
I would suggest you not linger. Those who are not invited do not do well when the trees start to wake up.
Wait, are you taking us to your leader? I need my friends here.
Oh,
because
I believe they're already there.
They're there?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
An invitation from a witch does not wait long.
From a witch? All
yes.
right.
Follow me, please.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just be a step behind, and Bob is gonna lean over to Keen and say, "I've heard that this witch eats people, so we have to be careful."
Yeah. I've lived here for a long time. I've always heard stories about the witch, but only visitors sort of run into her. Be careful. Mind your manners. Right?
All right.
And I would say, as we follow Bob and Keen going through this forest, that is where we'll take a little break. We'll be back in just a bit.
I'm so scared.
I'm sure it's fine.
And welcome back, everyone. So excited. Woo! I also wanted to say before we jump back into things that we have reached, I think, 50% of our goal already, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you all so much for watching. We have a couple of NPCs. We have another, I think, 100% totally useful item box that we might see in this session. We might see in the next session. Who knows? Super incredible stuff. Thank you all so much for watching out there and for helping out. So to jump back into things, for folks who are just joining us, our adventurers are on this quest. They encountered some goblins, trouble. They believe that the wizard that gave them a quest has been, something has happened to them, and they're going to these goblins that ambush them to try and find out what has happened to the wizard Brandlegast. And they're following this goblin trail through the woods, and when suddenly 3 of the adventurers disappeared. And apparently some sort of invitation from a witch, as Bob Gimble and an NPC, Keen, and actually also the Goblin Socks Senior is also with them as they are traveling through the woods. And we join them inside of the, what was that?
Did Sock Senior succeed on a wisdom save that I failed on?
No.
Okay.
For some reason, they did not have to make a wisdom save. And you see, as the scene opens, we see this thick forest. It is very lush and thick in this forest. There is a very high canopy, but only tiny little beams of light are able to pierce the canopy above to illuminate this forest floor below. It's very thick, old growth, moss, ivy, grass everywhere. It's very alive down here, as Bob Gimble, Keen, Sock Senior, and actually also the Chester We already have like 4 NPCs, and I absolutely love it. And we see them going through the forest. And as you're reaching near a clearing, and you're about to step through, that is when Moose and Caeora and Oda, you just a moment before were stepping through, following this trail. And as you push away some of the bushes, as you step over a little tree, you step into a clearing, a completely different clearing. This was not the path before. And you all realize that there's been some sort of magical effect, some sort of spell that has brought you to this new place. And as you see in the center of this clearing, there is a wonderful little babbling brook, a wonderful quaint little river. It is very beautiful in here, very well manicured. There is, again, that little river. There's a little bridge that goes over it, a small, cute little bridge. There's a wonderful, well manicured garden. There's this huge field of flowers that seems, all of this inside of this little grove in the center of the forest, this huge grove of flowers, a little hill with some trees on it and a stone and something in that stone. And then, but in front of you, there's this big black stone table, which seems to be just made out of this big rock. And upon it, there's a bunch of little tea coasters and teacups set up, but also many, many cards lying face down on this table. But the thing that draws your attention most is this house. There's a cottage in the middle of this grove, very cute, very granny, coated. There's a lot of little dream catchers and knickknacks all over, little potted plants, flowers, wonderful stuff. But the interesting thing is that this cottage is 20 feet up in the air because it rests atop 2 gigantic chicken legs that are standing very still, kind of maybe slightly rocking back and forth. So as you enter into this clearing, we will jump into a new map onto Owlbear. If we can see that, at least for a moment. We'll probably, I will reveal it in a second. I have to get rid of this font. If we can zoom in to the left half of this map where the house is, we'll be looking more at, I'll kind of do a little pointer. We'll be looking over at this half over here, if you can all see that. We can look at the map, but then we can kind of go back to seeing all of our faces, just so that the audience can get a little glimpse of what we're looking at. So as you can see, we see Moose and Caeora and Oda. You step through the forest and you just see all of this before you all at once. And then just a second later, Bob stumbles through the canopy into this clearing along with Keen, along with Chester, along with Socks Sr. And sitting there as this little squirrel that was leading Bob just a second ago jumps onto the table and sits on the ground right next to a very well-postured badger with his hands behind his back. And the squirrel adapts a similar posture, and they stand there looking at you all. And how do you all react to this? You're muted.
Oh, sorry.
What is this?
Well, it is an invitation, says the squirrel.
To what?
Well, the witch invited you. So, if you would please, sort of like nods his head towards the table where you see all of the cards flipped face side down.
Are these like playing cards or like?
They look like
cards?
bigger. They look like tarot cards.
Oh.
Do we just choose, or is there like assigned seating?
The squirrel kind of looks at the badger, and the badger kind of like shrugs, and the squirrel's like, "We're not supposed to influence your decision."
That's suspicious. Okay.
And Moose will go and just find a seat.
Oda's going right for a card.
Ooh.
Moose will sit
yeah.
down.
So Oda, you pick up a card. Moose, do you sit down and then pick up a card?
Moose will wait for Oda to whatever happens to Oda, just staring.
Oda picks up a card and nothing happens. Oda, you pick up the card and you look at it.
Which one is it?
I will say, whenever everyone decides to draw a card, I will actually draw a tarot card for your character.
Ooh.
So you see a tarot card, you see the thing, but we will draw once we decide who all is going to do it as well.
Caeora selects a card and stands near a chair before sitting down. It doesn't just go sit down, just kind of like looks at the card and ponders it.
Pick it up. How about Moose and Bob?
Moose will pick it up. Like, kind of lift it.
Like picking up like a big poster board.
Nice.
Oh, God.
And Bob.
Bob's totally game. Bob will have a seat, and he'll deliberate, like going, like maybe waving a hand over a few of them and looking at the squirrel and the badger to see if they give anything away before he settles on one.
I would say that I'd say the badger very stone-faced, doesn't do anything, and the squirrel's gonna like, oh, and then just starts laughing. He's like, I'm joking with you. I have no idea what the cards are.
And Bob's gonna be like, "Hey, you did the on this one, so I'm choosing this one. This is your fault."
And
You've
he's like,
influenced.
oh, shit. And so you all pick up cards.
Oda's standing just at the table next to one, hasn't sat. He's just staring very intently at this card. Very excited.
And I would love everyone just to roll me a d20. No modifiers.
Okay.
Which of these do I trust for this?
That's an 11.
Okay.
8.
A natural one.
Oh,
Is that a wild magic?
Well, I mean,
Come
technically,
on.
this is not
Fine.
necessarily a roll. Well, you know what?
This Candace
Roll a
wand.
d100. We'll see what happens. So what was it? It was 11, 8, 1,
21. What?
2.
Who?
Mhm.
Okay, so who had the 11? Sorry. Moose. And then it was Oda was the 8.
Uh-huh.
And then we have
We did
Clara,
not
what was
roll
the D100 that you rolled?
75.
Okay. Okay. I would say you pick up this card and you start to glow a little bit. You feel like a light. It's almost, for everyone else, it's almost as if a light switch was turned on next to them. It's a little bit too bright to look at. As Caeora, you just glow for a minute as you kind of pick up this card. And then as you were all sort of like pick up all these cards, you all hear something all at different times. First, we begin with Moose. You got the card Strength.
Oh my gosh.
And you hear, as you pick up the card Strength, it has a woman sort of holding the like lion or dog, a lion's head, and sort of like looking down upon it. And you hear, as soon as you pick it up, you get a flash of yellow cat eyes, and you hear, "Strength directs you to gather your bravery and fortitude to overcome a stubborn challenge. But you must not waste this power on trivialities. Your love is sweet." And then we go towards Oda. The chariot. You hear again that sort of instead of the flash of cat eyes, you see old wrinkled lips with a little wart on one side of it and little yellowed blackened teeth as they smile. You can hear the creases, the mouth movements of whoever this is. And you hear, the chariot urges you to pursue an old ambition with new intensity and vigor. Success is imminent, but you must focus on the path that lies ahead, lest you crash. And you also hear, you dance for shadow strings. But how many puppeteers are there? And then we see one for Bob. And Bob, you hear before reading this card, a very curious, a name to be remembered, but erased. A secret now only stone will tell. And you look at the card, you see the star. The star advises you not to lose hope. Something seemingly unattainable. It is much closer than you think. But wishing alone is insufficient. You must act on your thoughts as well. And then we see last, as Caeora, you glow as this card is before you, and you hear before seeing the card truly, as it is hard to see with this light sort of blinding you. You wear a forgotten face, but not a dead one. And the card reveals as the magician. That magician predicts that an opportunity or idea will present itself to you as if by magic. But you must seize it before it vanishes beneath trickery and false promises. And as you all see these cards before you, you hear, and a door boom, slams open. You see whooshing out of the top of this chicken hut house, you see some woman on a broom flies out. You see leaves and grass and flowers and dandelions follow her in her wake as if it is like being deposited by the back of the broom, and it swirls around in a great wind. And the witch circles this grove and then lands right at the head of the table, and all of these flowers and grass and nature fly up in a sudden torrent, and then it all moves away in a sudden wind. And you see a short little squat witch standing there with a broom no longer, but a staff that has a wooden crow with little red jeweled eyes in the staff of this crow. And you see that she has a shawl of like moss and leaves. She has a very wide witch hat that has a lot of little knickknacks and pins on it and buttons. She has this she's a bit plumper, a bit cozy grandma sort of vibe to her, but with those yellow, very attentive cat eyes. And when she lands, she says, very nice to meet you. I've been expecting you for quite a while. Well, the cards have been expecting you. And she looks around as you're all holding these cards. But wait. No, there's something more here. She snaps, and the candles all alight on the table. Yes. She moves her hand, and the cards fly out of all of your hands, and they fly over to her where a cauldron is now. It wasn't there a moment ago. It is now there, and it is lit underneath it, and the contents are bubbling. She says, yes, a different light. And she pulls up and grabs the sun and turns it just ever so slightly. And you see it turns into the moon, and all the stars move across the sky, and it turns to night. She says, oh, it's much better. Now I can see it. And the cards start to float in front of her, and they burst into flames and fall into the cauldron as it starts to bubble with a purple glow. And she looks inside of the cauldron. Seems there's something more here. And she holds her hands out. She says, come, quick, look, but do not touch. As she gestures you all to come towards the cauldron, what do you all do?
Oh, Oda goes right up and is on like the tippy toes, trying to see in.
Ferrara
Moose
also makes big strides over.
Yeah.
will wander over, but you see like a little rat hand come up to go and like touch. Like, oh.
And you hear like a little smack on the hand, and you see like her little eye. You see one eye is looking at the cauldron, the other eye has moved up to look at you, very creepily. She says, "Don't touch.
Fine.
It will interrupt the scene." And you see this purple smoke starts to swirl out of it. Yes, and it starts to make different shapes. And the following, what you hear, what we see in the shapes, is kind of like what is being made in the smoke. It is making different shapes, and it is telling a story. And you see the witch, yes, three figures, 3 lions. And they start to form, and you see a rat, a bat, and a spider, made of ink, yet not to dry yet. They are still changeable. And they start to drip down, but they are all 3 choked by a shadowed hand as this smoke sort of goes around, pulling all of these figures together. They stand on the backs of hundreds. And you see that these 3 figures with this choked hand are standing on top of a bunch of people, and they're all sort of like kneeling, kind of like on hands and knees, and they're all like stacking up, kind of like a card tower would be, if you're stacking cards on top of each other. The 3 of them stand on the backs of hundreds, building a tower. As it's going higher and higher, they strain atop it to hold up the hand, as these 3, the rat, the bat, and the spider, are holding up this shadowed hand, as the shadowed hand is trying to reach towards what you see, a black sun. It's like sort of like a negative image of it, sort of like black light, or a black center, and sort of like whitish black light is shooting out. They are holding up the hand to reach toward the black sun in a sky of stone, but none of them see the spirit. A ghost of the dead past spreads its wings of doom and salvation both, and you see this shadow, this figure spreading its wings, bringing forth a wave, a sea of bones to drown the tower and put out the sun. And you see that she looks up as the image sort of splits in half. A fell omen. But the fates of 3, yes, may be avoided with 4. 7, yes, an auspicious number. There are 2 fates that lay before you. 1, you siege the tower, break the wave, as this image is appearing on one side. Break the wave and set the sun for a new moon. And the light of hope will shine brightly for all of Calduria. Or a dark tower will rise, and you see that one half of the image is taken over the other half of it. A dark tower will rise, a key turned that can never be unturned. A fool's touch will set ablaze all that is wrought and fought. The tower will crumble, and with its crash, choke bastions of light. The last font of dreams from a dying kingdom in Calduria will forever be lost. And all of the smoke shoots down, and you see, as it clears, you are all sitting back in the chairs where you were sitting before. It is now sun above, and the cards are sitting back in the table as if you never drew them at all. And the witch is standing there with her staff. Very interesting. And
I
how do
keep
you
that
all
card?
react? You wish to keep one of my cards?
You asked me to draw it.
You may have it.
Thank you.
She snaps and it sort of flies up. It was apparently in a different part of the table than you thought it was. And it sort of like flops up, slides over to you. And how do you all react to this?
I think Caeora is pretty dumbfounded and awestruck. The kind of portentous thing the witch said to it is really kind of ringing in its ears, kind of rolling around in its mind. And they sort of like stagger a little bit. They take a couple steps back. And when they're finally able to shake it off, and they hear Oda ask for their card, I think she makes the same request to keep the card that they drew.
Very well. And you see the other card. Oh, the other card jumps up and slides over to you.
May I ask, the Black Sun, how familiar did that look?
It looked different. I would say perhaps it was kind of similar, but not similar enough.
Okay, just
Yeah.
needed to make sure.
Yeah, there is, you felt, a similarity, but it had a different feeling about it. More. It felt more. How do you all react?
Moose is for once drawn to silence. I think Moose is just really taken aback, eyes, little beady eyes wide, as he's racking his little rat brain, just trying to go over what it all means. And then he kind of looks over and is like,
I'm not the rat in the image, right? Or am I the rat?
You see that she kind of leers over at you. You? Prophecies are very tricky, hard to decipher. I know much, but I do not know if you are whom the prophecy speaks of.
Maybe there's another rat. Oh.
Perhaps. If you wish to know, then perhaps we can make a deal later on. But first, we must get to business at hand. And she sort of claps. And you see the squirrel and the badger kind of come to attention. Hey, thank you. And they sort of scurry off. As you see the house start to sort of lower down as the squirrel and the badger arrive. And they run over inside to grab the teapot and some other things and start to come back out. I am so grateful you all decided to join me. I learned much from our meeting. But now we must get to business. You are in my forest. And if you wish to cross my forest, you must pay for passage.
What is the cost?
Well, it is up to you. There are 3 different ways. You may give a gift, you may play a game, or you can choose to remain. There are many different ways. A gift is nothing. It is of one thing of emotional significance. It could be a memory, an item, a favor. I could borrow one of your senses or a body part. It's up to you. Or we could play a game, a test of wits. If you are to get 4 of my little questions correct before getting 4 of them wrong, then you will all pass for free. But for each one you get wrong, that is one gift you must give to me. Or, lastly, you can choose to remain. One of you must promise to stay forever, and then the rest of the group may go.
Rara
Except
looks
Sox
at the.
Junior. Or Sox Senior.
No, thanks. No, thanks. Keen is pretty dumbfounded here, and actually, I would say you see the witch kind of turns towards them. You should not be here. And looks at Keen and the mimic and the goblin. He's like, looks at the goblin. Your kind is already paid for passage. And you, we had made a deal with Kettlebrook long ago. Looking at Keen, and Keen's still kind of dumbfounded. But then turns towards the four of you. You are the ones that must pay. I will give you time to think. I will gather some sweets in the meantime. Shall we? And she turns around, and you see the little squirrel and the badger hop onto the table with the tea and start to pour it out. And the witch says, Prince, Gruffs, make sure they are very well taken care of. And they sort of nod. And the witch slowly walks towards the house. And you all are left alone.
Rara looks at the squirrel and the badger. Is this what happened to you? Is that why you're here?
You see the badger is kind of like, and the squirrel's like, it's like watching the witch and doesn't say anything until she gets into the house and the door shuts. He's like, yes, very much so. We were here. I don't remember exactly who I am, but I know I was important, very, very important. And I would say, if you get me out of here, if you get us out, us, of course, if you get us out of here, I'd be happy to give you money or something. I'm pretty sure I was a lord or something. So if you can get me out of here, I very much appreciate it. Perhaps in your bargain with the witch, you could add us on top of it. Or I do also know that perhaps there is some way that she keeps our spell sort of in physical space somewhere around here, so if you can find that. But she's very dangerous, very powerful, so I would not do anything against that, but I can say much more. And it continues to pour.
So I just rolled just to see like an Oda reaction and got a nat 1. So if you, I'm gonna roll that wild magic.
Wonderful. What were you trying to do?
So sometimes when I'm like, do I think this character would do a thing? I just roll a d20, and if it's high or low, to kind of be like, I'm not sure how to. Yeah, but
Okay.
So
Great.
it's a 26.
Okay. You feel possibility, you feel a little I don't know, energy, power within you, and you feel as if you can see better. You feel as if you can spot hidden things just a little bit better, because a third eye opens on your forehead for at least the next minute. You have advantage on perception checks. And also at the same time, you hear a little bit of whispers coming from your orb, from the star in your chest. And I'm going to message you what this little whispers say. You can share it with the group later if you want, but this is the task they have set for you. Make sure I'm sending it to the right person. Okay.
Thank you.
He's in the Zoom chat.
Yep.
Moose?
So, yeah, what happens?
Moose kind of looks around at the others and says,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be really upset to give the witch my pants.
Quite right. I think that I really don't have anything that I'm willing to part with. She doesn't seem the type to respect a song as payment. So I say we do the game and try to bargain our friend's way out of there as well.
I'm not good at games. I can't do a game. I'll give my pants. I'll cheer you on, but I can't do games. Wait, is it supposed to be individual? Are we all supposed to select the same thing?
You see the squirrel speaks up. I don't believe you have to choose all, but I believe if everyone is able to pass the game, then you all sort of pass. But I believe you could do it individually.
Oh.
But I guess the good and bad thing about the game is it's a chance to not have to pay it all if you are able to solve all of the riddles and not get any of them wrong. Then you could be able to have passage for free. But if you pay all of them wrong, then you just have to pay anyways.
Okay, well, if we do the games, if we could play together, then if we lose one, I offer my pants.
Aw.
They're from Battle Gas. They do not that they mean a lot or anything.
I would say that Keen is still pretty surprised by this. She's like, I didn't think people were telling it true. I didn't think that someone was gonna, that the witch was actually out here. I mean, hey, we always heard the stories that this forest was cursed and things, but no one from Kettlebrook ever heard anything about this. We gotta watch ourselves. I know that the Fae sort of follow some sort of rules and things like that, so we all should be careful about that. I don't know what they are, but I know y'all should be careful.
Can I try and figure out, can I try and tap into what my past was to see if I know about Fae rules?
Yeah, you can give me a history check or an arcana check, I guess. What is everyone's passive perceptions?
9.
13.
13.
Okay. Okay.
Oda,
What did you roll, Oda?
that's a 6.
Okay.
So, Oda's
Um,
Fae rules, Fae, and you see them turn their head and they start to think, and then there's and they kind of stumble and lean onto Caeora, their head, and you see one little bit of blood coming out of one little nostril.
I think Caeora scoops you up to bring you closer. Quite all right.
Fine. I was trying to remember something. I don't think I'm supposed to remember.
Has someone played with your memories?
No?
1 second.
Oh no, this is ominous.
I know.
Anyway,
I'm so
hi
afraid.
chat. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well today.
Player terror right there.
Yeah.
There's a timer that's starting.
Okay, sorry. What happened?
We were scared.
Yes, we were very afraid.
Caeora scooped Oda up and was like, did someone mess with your memories?
Oh, okay.
And there's just immediate no. But there's no conviction behind those eyes.
I would like to cast Detect Magic on Oda. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. I believe there's you just do it. So detect magic, you just see what sort of magical effects is affecting someone. I would say you probably see the colors of enchantment around the items that Oda just picked up a little while ago. And probably something coming from underneath their clothes near a chest sort of region. sort of like some sort of glowing from there. But there doesn't seem to be any spells affecting them. You don't detect anything like that.
Do any of the items that are magical look like they could be a spell that could affect the memory? Like, can I roll Arcana to see if I know anything about that?
Yeah, give me an Arcana. We're looking for a DC 20.
Okay. No, that's neat.
Yeah, I would say, but for the items that they just found, no. You're not quite sure about that orb in their chest, but it would take some more time, perhaps close study to figure out what exactly is going on there.
I think Caeora like holds Oda out, kind of like if you've seen Lilo and Stitch, the way Nani is like with Stitch. I feel like they're doing that and they're like inspecting you. Like,
Excuse me. Excuse.
I apologize. That's quite rude. I know. I'm sorry. I should have asked first. And they set you down.
And they they're like very stiff for a moment, and they kind of. I stole this, and they hold up your tankard.
Thank you for being so honest. I think we need to find Brondlegast for you. Small one. I mean, I imagine we all must have a word with Wizard, but whatever's going on with you doesn't seem entirely on the up and up.
He did not think it was a problem before. The other one did.
I think her facial expressions, again, like it's a giant stone person. So like the facial expression is still kind of that kind of carved thing, but you can kind of see the face shift into like shock and then back to normal. Well, are we doing the game?
I could give her a book. Or my tail.
Emma. What?
It will grow back, but it will not be as aesthetically pleasing.
I think you should keep your tail. I feel like it's balancing.
Yeah.
It is where I store my fat.
It's okay. I will start with my pants. Okay.
And I would say after a few minutes of discussion, you see that the witch returns. As she's walking outside, you see that there's a little tray floating next to her of these steaming little sugary treats that seem to have just come out of the oven. She says, yes, we're so excited to get started. And the tray floats over towards the table. I'll have some of those, please. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you for a brief moment. I must attend to something in the forest, and when I will return, then we can continue. Yes?
Very well.
Okay.
Do you like
Give you
books?
more
Right.
time to decide.
What if one of us wants the game and the rest of us want to give a gift?
That's perfectly fine.
Sure.
I would
Oh.
recommend doing the game first, just in case.
So can we all play together? Is it like a group game?
Sure.
Okay.
We can do whatever your heart desires.
My heart desires cheese and to leave.
Well, perhaps you can get that cheese and leave after you pay.
There's cheese on the plate.
There is now. And you look, and there's cheese where there was not cheese before. And she says, Dimitri, keep an eye on them. And she sort of hits her staff, and the crow on the top of it sort of, you see like color sort of leaks into it, and it becomes a real crow and jumps off of the staff and flies around to the top of the house, where you see a little book that is up there on the roof. A sort of a cave for two, I believe, is this book up on the house where the crow has flown and lands. and we see Dimitri, the crow, the raven, is sort of watching, and Granny's like, "I will be back momentarily," and she waves her staff and turns into a flock of birds and flies up, straight up into the sky, and then out over the grove towards somewhere else. And I would say, for right now, you all are relatively alone in this grove. And if you wish to go back to Owlbear Rodeo, you can see various things on this map. If there's anywhere that you wish to go, you don't know when this witch will return, but you do have a few minutes of her not there. There seems to be a crow watching you, but the squirrel and the badger are also there, but it doesn't seem like they
First
want
off,
to.
is this the same crow that took my book or tried to?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna get that crow.
We have
Nemesis.
bees.
We're gonna
Every
take
episode.
the crow's book.
And Moose looks to Oda and says,
We're gonna do it.
First, I need it distracted.
Okay. Hey,
and just telepathy the crowd.
hey.
Okay, so it seems like Moose and Oda are trying to get this book. What would
I'm doing
Kara-
something else, but I'm letting Moose be
Moose
distraction.
thinks.
Okay,
that-
okay.
Yeah.
but-
And Caeora and Bob, what would you like to do during this time?
I want to go look at the garden that she has over here. Like,
Okay.
there's only two people that are staying, like two individuals that are staying forever. It's this squirrel and this badger. But if this
Mhm.
lady's been set up here a while, I want to know where the bodies are buried.
Okay, heck yeah. You can move your person over to where you would like. And Bob, how about you?
Bob is going to perhaps like noticing when Caeora was making sure that Oda was okay, and so that's how he's determining this connection. But with the two of y'all's permission, he is gonna say, just in case, it seemed like you two care about each other, and so I want to, I'd like to create an emboldening bond, to willing creatures, and you'll have a bond in which, as if you're within 30 feet of each other, you can roll a d4 and add it to an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw. If
Heck
you
yeah.
don't mind, just while we're in here, I want to make sure we're okay.
One
Do you
moment.
both allow that?
Well, there's a moment. Oda's gonna put a hand on their chest and just like check. Is this a problem?
You don't feel anything.
I believe it is fine.
So it is between Caeora and Oda?
There's a
Yes.
lingering, like, staring at Oda as, like, they check in with whatever is in their chest. I don't think Caeora realized that that was as big of an issue, having kind of done the detect magic and seen like a variety of things. I think like she stares at it for a long time, and then it kind of looks at you. Its eyes narrowed a bit, and then snaps back. Yes, anything for you, Bob. Yes.
Thank you. Good luck in whatever you're doing. And Bob is gonna stay by Moose and say, "We're gonna make sure you don't give up those pants."
No. Thank you. Wow. Oh, by the way,
Takes out like a page that Moose had ripped out of the smutty book, and like holds it up to Bob and says,
I think this will help you figure out who you are.
Oh.
At least a hint.
Oh,
It mentions bones. I don't know.
I haven't read anything like this, and it is bringing some recollection. I don't know. There's some feelings going on. Do you mind if I hold on to this?
This is for you, yeah.
Thank you, Moose. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
And I'll pocket
anytime. Wait, maybe not anytime. I'll take back that offer.
it.
Heck yeah. I would say, Bob, when you just before you talked to Moose, as you were creating this bond between Oda and Caeora, you put your hands on them, begin to make this bond. And Oda and Caeora, you don't feel this, but Bob, you do, since you're kind of like the joining place. You feel a little like some sort of like two things that don't like each other, like slide off of each other for a second. But it's just a flash, and bond is connected.
Okay. Bob is gonna like you'll notice just like an odd look on Bob's face. It's almost like he as he's making the bond, he'll just kind of like furrow his brow and maybe look towards each of them and then just be like, it's probably nothing. I haven't done this in a minute, so. And then carry on.
Yes, furrow his bones. Well done, Piper.
Furrow his bone.
And I just
like-
imagine Bob just drawing on like furrowed brows.
Yeah.
And with Moose taunting Dimitri,
Mhm.
Oda is going to try to activate the ring of speaking to inanimate objects and ask the food if it is safe to eat.
Okay. Food on the table.
That she brought out.
Okay. So yes, you use the ring. You turn it on. What sort of item are you pointing at specifically? Like a muffin, a scone, something like
Yeah,
that.
and she brought out a big plate of things.
You can
and was-
decide what it is.
Yeah, yeah, probably just whatever looks. Actually, you know what? Specifically because Moose was very excited about the cheese, I'm gonna specifically ask the cheese, "Are you safe to eat?"
I'm cheese. I'm cheese. What?
Are you poisoned cheese?
I'm cheese.
Are you?
You're not cheese.
No, I am not.
Oh, I've got holes. Oh,
I have those
taste
as well.
good. Ooh. Hey, who are you? You're not cheese.
You are not useful.
And the ring turns off.
I did not like that cheese. I would like to eat that crow now.
Yeah, you learn a lot of really good information from Cheese, and then we see Moose is going to try to distract the crow. Let's see, we'll jump over to Caeora first. And Bob, you can decide which group you're sort of with if you'd like. And Caeora, give me a perception check real quick.
Caeora's poking their nose wherever it does not belong.
Mhm.
Use my third eye to assist. Since I have my
if
bond.
if you go over to
Are we within 30 feet?
wait, it's the like the D4 or something like
we
that.
get the, yeah.
Oh, okay, well then yeah, you can aid in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do have a third
22.
eye right now.
22. Whoa! Heck yeah. Okay.
25.
Um,
The 25 total.
So,
For you, not
in-
for.
oh heck yeah. So yeah, 25. Wow. So, Caeora, you look. This garden is very beautiful. There's a lot of fruits and veggies in here. I mean, some little like fruit trees and things like that, and like little bushes. and a lot of vegetables, and a lot of them are like very rare for this area. You see, and you see a lot of herbs, a lot of roots. You think that a lot of these things in this garden are used for potions, some for eating, some for potions, some for ingredients, some for spells. But basically, anything that you would want as like spell ingredients would be here. Besides like diamonds and stuff. But you see like any sort of natural ingredients you would find here. And it's a wonderful for like a wizard or a witch. This is perfect. This is a beautiful spot.
So nothing suspicious. No like Ursula-esque creatures that used to be something else that are now like mushrooms or something.
No, you do. I would say you do see an inordinate amount of crows around the grove. They're not watching you like Dimitri is, but you do see a lot of birds, a lot of crows and ravens on the perimeter of this area, just all in the trees. They're not making noises, so you wouldn't have noticed them until you like specifically were looking around for hidden things. But they just seem to be kind of chilling out, which is a bit odd for ravens to do. But the thing that does draw your notice is a thing that is across this field of flowers. As you see on the far right side of the map, this little hill in the middle of the flower field, you see between two dead trees is a stone. And in that stone is a sword. And you know this sword because you have heard stories of this sword go back for years and years and years and years. This is the one, the only Galridian, the blade of 1,000 sunsets. This, the famous blade, Dawnbringer, the first Sunray Gloomslayer, the eternal fire of the great wood. This sword, the sword that Yvain the Dawnseeker held. Basically, this world's Aragorn from the Fellowship. From 900 years ago, this was the leader of the Fellowship that defeated the Dark Lord. She wielded this sword. It was the sword that dealt the final blow to defeat the Dark Lord all this long time ago. And it is here. It is here in that stone across this field of flowers. But also, in the middle of this field, you see that there is a suit of armor right there. There's a suit of armor that is in a kneeling position. His head is bowed. It is in full plate. It is holding a sword that is stuck into the ground. It is in between these large sunflowers that are just about at probably the most people's like chest or like waist height, these flowers in this field. So you wouldn't have noticed it before, but there is, again, this large suit of armor just in the middle of this flower field as its head bowed, sword in front of it as if it is kneeling in reverence, looking out towards where the field starts. You see all of this.
Ferrara makes its way back to the other party members. I don't know if this has anything to do with the game our host intends to play, but there's something that I feel might be able to help us on this journey we are partaking in. A sword that was, Yvain's sword. I don't know if any of you are well educated or learned on the history of this region, but she was the Dawnbringer.
Yeah, I would say everyone knows like the 6 heroes from the past that defeated the Dark Lord. Like that's like Red Riding Hood. That's Jack and the Beanstalk for this world. So like everyone remembers those names, and it's like you're like, holy crap.
I would like to go retrieve that sword, but at the same time, there is a suit of armor just randomly kneeling in between us and it. And something tells me, as an animated object that was previously inanimate. That could be bad news. If we step into the field, I'm quite cautious that it might decide to come to life, which might not be a problem for me, but certainly would be a problem for the rest of you.
Well, the cheese is not intelligent, so perhaps we should try to talk to the armor.
Oh, that's right. You've got a ring, don't you?
We can charm it.
Also, I think we get turned into crows and ravens if we fail the test.
Oh, I thought we should have to give more things. If we fail.
No, I think that if she does not like your gift, you stay here as a raven or a crow.
Wow.
You think my pants?
I could be wrong. I'm just sharing what I see. She smiles like a wistful smile that does not reach the eyes.
I don't want to be a crow. I like the ground.
If we wish to be sneaky, I can help make someone sneaky. Or I can attempt to reason.
I would like one person to roll me a luck check.
Not me.
Who's feeling lucky? Do it, Piper.
Okay. Is D20 or?
Yeah, D20.
Okay.
Got this.
That's a 6.
Okay. You start to hear you start to hear birds. It sounds like a lot of flapping wings. You feel as if this witch is going to return imminently. Basically, you all have one round to do something if you wish. She's going to be back here in 6 seconds.
Ooh.
Would anyone like to do anything?
I think Caeora enters the flowers just to see if that statue responds.
Okay. As you enter the flowers, give me a wisdom saving throw.
You can add 4 to it.
22.
Dang.
As you feel a sort of like a wave come from this sword, and you feel responsibility. You feel in magical waves what this thing means to not just you, but to the world, to heroes, to stories, and it like washes over you like a wave, but you stand true. You stand, you do not turn away. You feel a feeling in the back of your mind, a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame, and it washes away. Would you like to continue?
So far, I'm all right. Come in after me if things go bad, please. I think she continues to approach now.
Okay.
What is
I would say I'll move your person okay, stop right there. So as you reach that point, you see the knight starts to stand up, and you see that they take their blade out of the ground and like put it next to their side. You cannot see within the helm, but you see there's darkness inside of the helm, but you see a long white beard as it descends all the way down to the ground. Not like Brandlegast's, but as if this person, whoever they are, have been here for a very, very long time. You see that there is rust in points of their armor. You can hear every movement of their armor as they stand up, and they have their sword at their side just next to them, but you do feel a presence, a little bit of a lean of the helmet that you feel is a threat if you move closer.
No. I am here to honor the person and thing that you are defending. Please don't take it out on my companions or myself. Please.
There's no response.
What do I do? Everyone, please. I need direction.
I will say it has basically been 6 seconds for you. So I would say this is as much as you can do. What is everyone else? Would anyone else have liked to have done something during this time as you see Caeora walking into the field of flowers?
Yes.
At one point, Moose is gonna kind of quickly like hurry up to Oda and look at Oda and say,
Do you want that book?
I would like to kill the bird. I have the book.
Do you want 2 books with 1 bird?
The book is immaterial. It is the offense it cost.
You want me to throw you at the bird?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me an athletics.
"Yeah, Moose will fully just."
Heck yeah. I will say to throw this bird is up on the second floor.
Such a bad idea.
So it's gonna be I'm gonna need at least an 18 for you to reach this bird.
So for the record, Oda like felt the pull and followed, like went into the garden. So not into the flowers, but closer to Caeora. And is now like looking
Christ.
back, just watching Moose. Just
I have to run and throw you so.
Oh, so you're near the flowers and you're trying to throw them towards the house. Okay, then that's going to be a 25 that you need to get because that
I
is
have to hit a
so far away.
critical.
You have to crit
Oh
to
my
throw.
God.
Let's see. I mean 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 and then up about 10 feet. So like 85 feet. Yeah, you have to get.
this is gonna end so poorly.
If
for
you
me.
are willing, I will throw you.
Let's make it happen. Let's make
I
it
thought
happen.
you were saying you were gonna climb up and throw the bird to me. But sure, this is more ridiculous. Let's do that.
Do you want to go get that bird? Yeah, sure, go get it. Why are you picking me up?
Okay. I have to get a 20. I have to get a 20. I don't think
Let's
I
get
this.
I
Gonna
You
believe-
got
so
it. You got
poorly.
it.
You know what? That's a 1.
Ah, perfect. Give me a D100 roll, please.
That wild magic surge has
Who
come
knows?
in so many times.
It could
I think-
it could shoot
And they-
could shoot Oda all the way there.
All been on ones.
I think what happens is instead of it being the usual barbarian strength that Moose can tap into when Moose is like fighting, I think instead it is rat strength that Moose taps into.
Ah.
So goes up to like lift up Oda and says, "Oh no," and it's just completely
Gets one foot, gets the foot with the ring, and then just go.
So that's a 66. So close.
Okay.
Nice.
That's so funny.
Perfect. I love when the dice are telling a story.
Can you roll me 4d10?
Oh. Sure. Let's
dear.
see. So that's a 1,
Is this how I die?
a 9.
Yeah, just add it all up.
10.
Oh, add it all up. Okay, so 10, 14, 19 total.
Okay. You are right there. Bob, are you near them as well?
I was gonna head towards where Caeora is,
Mhm.
because
Okay.
of fear.
Yep, so that's
Be careful,
where
Okay, so you're
we're
probably
all right
you're
there.
probably over here.
We're
Okay,
all
wonderful.
right there.
Let's see. Oh, unfortunate. What did you roll again, Moose?
19 in total.
Okay, so as you go to throw, you feel some sort of wild electricity within you, and you drop Oda, and you see lightning shoots out from you, and Oda and Bob and Moose, you all take, what was it, 19 damage.
Oh my gosh!
Oda falls unconscious.
Oh no!
Me too?
No, you're far enough away, Caeora, to not get hit by this.
Thank goodness. Not.
So you see lightning shoot out. I'll say that, unfortunately, with that, the witch has now arrived. So there is unfortunately no more time, and you see that she lands back over near the house.
Okay.
And she sort of turns over, and you sort of like, if anyone's looking at her, you sort of blink, and then she is standing next to you. And she says, "Ah, I didn't think you all were ready for this, but you got farther than I thought you would." Sort of looking over at Caeora in the field.
Excuse me, I wasn't trying to poke in or push in where I'm not wanted. I just, I mean, it's the Dawnbringer. I mean, what was I to do?
Yes, I suppose you do what you wish.
Is this part of the game?
No, it is not. It is something I cannot speak of. I'm sorry. Now, if you wish to play the game, finish what you're doing. You won't get there, I assure you. But you may always return and try again when you think you are worthy. And she turns around to start to walk towards the table as we see a steaming Oda body, and she kind of stops. What? No, we can't have that. And you see that she snaps her fingers, and you're up to 1 HP.
Like the eyes just snap open and they do the creepy just sit straight up thing.
My bad.
3 smoking little piles.
The fur's all singed.
Yeah. And she walks over towards the table. Caeora, what would you like to do in this moment?
I think the witch's words combined with like the fortune from before are like warring in her mind. To Caeora, this is an opportunity that's presenting itself and doesn't want it to be sullied by trickery and false promises, but also, is she worthy? It's been a person for 5 minutes. So I think Caeora like takes a step back away, and then another away from this.
And then you see the knight kneel back down and place the sword back into the ground, its head cast down.
Are you happy to go back to everyone, Bob? Maybe we should handle this situation before trying to get involved with all of that.
Bob is in that moment. He sees Oda hurt, Moose hurt, but he'll look to Caeora and he'll say, "Whatever you think is the right move, I believe in you." And he's recalling what Caeora did for him when they met at the tavern. How, as he was fumbling about, they were the ones that were able to turn that into something beautiful, into something magnificent. And Bob is gonna say, "Whatever you need to do," and he'll cast with a bonus action a little sanctuary upon Caeora and say, "We're here for you. We'll protect you, no matter what."
Oda looks at it and just goes, and a little smoke comes out.
So this is an above the table moment. Was that a real short rest earlier?
Yeah, if you'd like, yeah, you can totally have used that. Mm-hmm.
I think with that,
it might be you might want to do that again after leaving here as well.
I wouldn't have gone down had that been a short rest, but it's funnier this way.
Okay.
I'm into it.
I think Caeora looks at Bob, looks back at the knight in the field, and advances toward it.
Towards the knight?
Yeah.
As you move closer, hold on. Just
before-
scroll back down.
Seeing it turn and go back in, Oda is gonna just reach out and kind of move a little clawed fingertips, and shadows are gonna start to gather around Caeora. And you have a +1 to your armor class, and you make stealth checks with advantage.
Let's
As
go.
the veil of dusk
Okay.
wraps around you.
Very briefly, Caeora, can you just roll initiative for me?
Yes.
Uh,
11.
And then I am going to move to the very edge of the flowers to be within 30 feet as long as I can.
Okay.
Am I still
Um,
within 30 feet of it?
Of Caeora?
Yeah.
Let's see.
10, 15, 20, 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, add 2 to that
Um,
initiative.
Okay, yeah. Add to your initiative.
Nice.
You go first. As you see the knight starts to stand back up.
I think Caeora. I think Caeora says halt, and I'm going to use my command spell
Mm-hmm.
to allow me to hopefully move closer without having to deal with it messing with me.
Okay. What does it need to roll?
It needs to do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
DC 13.
What is DC 13? Okay. So it has advantage on saving throws against magic, and it has a +2. So it succeeded, unfortunately. As you see the spell sort of come at it, and you see very fast. You didn't think it would be that fast, as it raises its shield and like blocks this spell somehow, and it just moves very mechanically back to the ground. It sort of raises its shield up and you pulls its sword forward, locking into place. What else would you like to do? I would say, actually, give me an insight check for free.
Yeah.
Real quick. Sizing up your opponent.
if possible, while this thing moves into place, Moose wants to cast message on it, but from his little pack takes out a horn, and casting message just starts blowing. So in its like brain is just hearing wah.
Okay,
As a
interesting.
drone. I want to try to
Nice.
give some like help to Caeora.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would say, Moose, give me just a dexterity roll, and we're gonna see if you can do it fast enough. Because it seemed like everyone was prepared to leave, and then Caeora moved in deeper. We're
That's
gonna
only
see
a
if you can react.
9. Probably not.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can do it basically on the suit of armor's turn, but on Caeora's turn, unfortunately, will not give it advantage or anything like that. So what was the insight, Caeora?
Caeora got a 7.
Okay.
It's freaking out.
Well, hold on. Yeah, they got an 8.
Okay, you got an 8. I will say, Caeora, even with an 8, you look at this stance, look how fast this thing moves. You see this battle-ready armor. Also, this armor looks, yes, it's old, but it looks like fairy tale old, as in it might be from the time of tales from 900 years ago. This is very, very old stuff. And you know in your heart, you will lose if you fight this thing.
Caeora puts its hands up. I am but a humble bard. I just wanted to look at the sword, to examine it, to write great epics and odes about it. I've never seen it in person, just heard tale. I am going to go. I'm going to leave. I will come back another time with my friends here in tow when we are ready to be heroes, but clearly I was mistaken. Please enjoy your sunflower field. And like starts to use the rest of her movement to just bring it on back.
Okay. I'd say as you like sort of end your turn and start to walk back, I would say you're saying that and you blink and the knight is right next to you. And you see the sword was coming down and it stops right as you finish saying that. And you see, since you're close enough, you look into the helm and you see an old man inside of this suit of armor, his eyes golden with a light, just wrinkles, ancient looking. And he steps back, puts the sword down, and allows you to walk away.
Thank you, good sir. I will bring you peace someday.
Unworthy.
Oh.
He turns around and
Does he
goes
do the-
back to his spot, and he kneels down again. You feel, when he said unworthy, you don't feel like that's an always thing. That feels like right now you are not.
I think Caeora kind of shakes its head. Yes, well, like I said, I've been sentient for 20 years. That's a drop in a bucket compared to that wise and old creature. Oh, I've got to find it. I've got to get it together. And I think she looks over at Bob. Thank you for cheering me on and believing in me. I don't take it lightly.
Yes, of course. Whatever you choose, we're with you.
On to the witch, then. Yes?
And you see the witch standing there, their hands steepled. Yes. On to the game. And that is where we'll end the episode for today.
Snap.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
Harrowing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
See, but now I'm over here like, if I had let him destroy me, would I have been able to be like brought back by the witch, and then I would have been worthy because I'd have been willing to die for my beliefs?
Oh, interesting.
It did
Very
not work for me.
cool.
Thank you, Oda, for the reminder.
I mean, hey, Oda never went into the field. We don't know.
No,
we don't
yeah.
know.
But I was willing to die for my belief that I wanted to eat that crow.
Yeah.
You gotta eat that crow. Honestly, it might have been a good thing that you didn't go to attack the crow, because like that belongs to the witch.
Player knowledge.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm like negotiating. Okay, character, go over and do this instead of the thing you're trying to do.
Incredible.
Like,
I love it.
Let me see how much I remember about the Fae. Okay, nope, we gotta be creative
Yeah.
now.
I would say anyone else can roll for those little Fey rules, because I do have them.
Mm,
I do have them.
I'm literally fighting the lizard brain in me.
Moose obeys no rules.
That's right. Moose probably knows them and completely ignores them.
Absolutely.
Moose heard them once, went, I'm not afraid of giving anyone my name.
Incredible. Well, yeah, I guess that's it for this episode today, and I'll pass it over to Kay for our little outros.
Oh my goodness, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun. Thank you so much to the Lurking Writer for naming an NPC.
Yes.
That will be coming up next session. And then we
Great.
also, we unlocked, thank you for the tips, we are halfway through, and we unlocked another set of 100% useful magic items, which let us know how not intelligent cheese are, which is great. But yes, thank you all so much. I am Kay. I use she pronouns. I have been Oda, they, any creepy little guy who, I don't know, he's just a little guy. It's not a problem, right? No problems here. You can find me right here every Tuesday doing the Table Talk Show with David, who is running production.
Ooh.
we Wednesdays over on the Emergency Power Podcast, season 4 is currently being recorded and will come out soon. What else can I talk about? We're going to be doing more streaming, but we're not quite sure what because we beat Baldur's Gate. And yeah, nothing else I can really talk about right now. So yes, that is me. I think who am I giving it to? Matt?
Me.
You, Piper.
Hi, yes,
Sorry.
Piper.
Hello, I've been Piper, and always will be. I use they, them pronouns, and I've been playing Moose, he, him pronouns. You can find me over on my channel, Matihi, not tonight, as we're taking a little break, but we play What We Do in the Shallows, which is a queer pirate TTRPG where there's a bunch of gay stuff that happens, and there's lots of drama and lots of kissing. I play over there with Candace, and it's very, very lovely. And I also play with Candace on The Hidden North, which is a podcast, wherever you get your pods, with 12-Sided Story. It's a blast. It's scary. It's very scary. It's very haunting. And yeah, go check that out. Go take a listen. And speaking of Candace, I'm going to pass it on over to him.
That's me. Hi, I'm Candace. I do a lot of stuff on the internet. You can find me, like Piper said, on What We Do in the Shallows and 12-Sided Stories. You can also hear more of me in the podcast Gloom and Blight and over on Partial Veil if you like audio dramas that are cosmic horror, but make it Fargo. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Twitter and Blue Sky, at Candace Magnificent everywhere else. And technically you can also find me sometimes on 3 Black Halflings. So shout out to them. Listen to it. Follow them. Patreon, both of us, because all of us are making awesome content. All these amazing people. And if I can suggest to Kay and David a game that you should play on stream, so I will caveat, it is a couples game, but whatever a couple is whatever it looks like to you. I think you should play It Takes Two, but
It's so
play
fun.
it.
Oh,
It is so much fun.
I
The story
don't
itself.
do well with those games. Don't play
Valid.
those games
Okay.
with me. I don't
Okay.
like them. I'm not a good person.
Are
for
you a
those.
sore winner / loser?
I don't like I can't play Mario Party. The only cooperative competitive game that I can play is Ultimate Chicken Horse because you screw yourself over as much as you screw anyone else over. Everything else just makes me a ball of fury.
Oh, I was gonna say I would love to hear David rant about the shitty book that's in that game because the book is trash. The whole
book
story
fucking sucks, dude.
The story fucking
my
like
God.
the whole thing is honestly like, but the gameplay is really good.
You need to make the love connection. Like,
Oh my God.
Horrible.
It's the
The worst. Every time he comes, I'm just like, oh, this motherfucking game. Can I skip? No? Okay. Anyway, I'll pass it over to Matt.
Hey y'all, I'm Matt. I was Bob. You can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. I'm actually running a game of Flabbergasted later tonight, so I'm super pumped. If you want to check that out, that'll be over on my YouTube, Improv and RPG. But this has been such a blast. This is always such a blast. I'm so excited to play again, and I'll pass it over to Adam.
Hello! I just spaced out for like a full 20 seconds. Hello, I am Adam. You can find me at Adam So Wizard. I do the game mastering thing, the DMing. I also teach improv, things like that. If you want to play some games or this game, you can go on Start Playing and play this game and others like it with me or with your friends. I also specialize in teaching new folks to play, have a bunch of custom things that I've made, character sheets and blah, 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 et cetera, to make the process easier for folks who have not played any sort of TTRPGs before to get into it. And yeah, that's all for me. That's, I think everything for us today. But before we go, I would love everyone to huddle up here at the end. Everyone put your hands in, and I would love to get a phrase or a word or something to go out on the episode for. What sort of word or phrase do we want to put our hands in for?
I'm cheese.
Yeah, I am cheese.
Okay, all right. Cheese on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese! All right, everyone. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all. And thank
Bye,
you,
cheese.
Painting Pirate, for the raid, and Hungriest Clone for the follow.
Yes. And cheese.